And the music was really good, but I don't have enough of me in the headphones in that mixer mix. Check. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a lot better now. I still think he's probably going to be too loud, but we'll figure it out as we go. Yo! Oh, did we forget to turn the lights down? We did. Let's dim these lights. Oh, no, I got mine down. My bad. It just seems bright in here. Mr. Mooger.
What up?
The Mooger Fooger.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as always, brother.
Dude,
it's always
course,
good to
dude.
fucking be over here, man.
Course, dude.
Always good to be over here.
You know, there's a guitar pedal named after you called the Mooger Fooger.
You know what? I am familiar with that. I wasn't sure.
Line your nipples up with these two
right
lines in the table. Yeah.
Like that? Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit more. There you go.
Mooger Fooger. I didn't know if it was a guitar pedal or not. I do know that the Moog Museum's in Charlotte, North Carolina.
They say Moog. However, here's why I know that's not true.
Sure.
Because Mooger Fooger isn't funny and doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But the Mooger Fooger makes a lot of sense and is super funny.
The last name is weird like that. The pronunciation kind of goes either way. Some people pronounce it Moog. Some people pronounce it Moog.
What is it?
It's German. It's a weird combination,
like Austrian German or something.
Yeah, exactly. And there's there's Baltic in there.
I was
and
just
there's
gonna say yeah.
Some Dutch in there. So it's like this weird Midland type of weird. It means
almost getting up towards like Hungary and shit.
Mage, Moog is like mage or like jewelry trader back in the day, or knowing somebody. If you dial it all the way back, knowing somebody important. Moog means mage or a jewelry trader or a mug maker. From back in like Dutch, German times. So there's some type of weird stone making, right?
I love this shit.
Yeah, totally.
I love etymology so much.
Totally. And that, I mean, it would explain why I'm like super into the occult, super into the weird shit, right? And that it tracks. It tracks going back into it. So, but yeah, the museum's in Charlotte, but I'm not related to him. I'm kind of distantly related to, I don't know if you're a hockey guy, Andy Moog, the goalie. That
I've heard the name.
Played for the Bruins, played with Wayne Gretzky for a minute on the Oilers. He's like a second or third cousin.
You know, I'm not the biggest like hockey scholar, so it might be one of those things where I read it in one of the games on the rosters back in the day, because I do recognize the name.
The interesting thing is that the chassis part dude, the auto parts, right? The Moog chassis parts that you see, he's related to the synthesizer guy. They're related in the same genealogy. So
it's not a super common name.
No, not a super common name. But I'm not. I mean, there's got to be some degree of separation, but it's not familial to where like there's any money that came in on it. My dad went to Harvard, right? So he's super fucking quick. Okay, so there's like. That was, that was, he went to Harvard, he graduated from Harvard, and he was too smart for his own good.
Were you close to your dad?
No, I wasn't close with him. We had a
What'd you do wrong to make your dad run away from you?
Well, no, here's what it was, man, is I got an older...
It was clearly your fault. It couldn't have possibly been your Harvard graduated father. Nope. What did you do wrong?
The issue there was that I showed up.
Right?
I have an older brother, older sister that are fucking 11 and 12 years older than me. And so
Or did your mom chase him away? Was she crazy?
No. My mom's a saint. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. And so she's like, for real though. She's like one of the nicest people you'd ever meet, right? And he's just like a swinging dick, was a dick, right?
Having a mom who's so fucking cool, does that balance out the feeling of having a douchebag dad?
Yeah, here was the thing with me that it was hard for me to fucking grapple with for a long time, and I've recently, started to come to terms with it. But I mean, I'm 47 years old. He straight up told me, he's like, I don't have any energy to raise you, because they already raised 2 kids.
Sure.
And he was not only. It would be one. Here's the thing with me, man, and it's always been this way.
I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
No. I know, but that's cool. I mean, I like talking about this stuff because it's very real stuff. If it's always been this way for me, because I'm not an idiot. I'll never say I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I'm not an idiot either. And if I know that it's a moron talking to me,
depends on which room you're in.
Right. Well, right.
You might be the smartest guy in several rooms that I've been in.
So, right. And so, if it's somebody that is just a blatant fucking fool that's saying something like that to me, it's like, okay, whatever. But if it's somebody that I respect their intelligence, right? I'm gonna take what you have to say seriously, because in the end of the day, I'm not a fucking malicious person, right?
Right.
So it took me a while to grapple with that. I'm like, you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to fucking be that way, right? But really what it was just, he's a guy who was out of energy, right? He raised 2 kids. He was out of energy. It didn't work out the way he wanted it to. Probably had some regrets. Now I fucking know some other shit that went on. Like my mom wasn't the one that he really wanted to be with, okay? There was another kid that was out there that they gave up for adoption. That's a brother of mine. It was like a secret thing. Okay, so there's all this other shit.
And that secret brother went on to start a very successful synthesizer company.
Right, exactly. And wants nothing to do with me. And I'm like, why didn't you fucking tell me? No, seriously, the secret brother though that they gave him for adoption, he was like a singer. He was a singer, but he was a drunk his whole life. But now I know I have a nephew, right, that fucking lives in Omaha.
Yeah,
the whole thing is fucking weird. So, anyways, I have a great relationship with my mom. I didn't have that great of a relationship with him. He was a dick, and I would talk shit back to him because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking hear that shit, dude. I'll fucking go toe to toe with you in an argument. Mm-hmm. And you already told me that fucking you didn't really give a fuck about if I came or went, so let's go at it.
Right.
I ain't trying to impress you. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And so
move that mic over so you can stay with the table. No. You can like come up to the table, but like
here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So that was pretty much that. And I booted out of fucking the Chicagoland area when I was 17. And when I went to Madison, Wisconsin to go to college, I didn't have any intentions of fucking finishing, and then I wound up here fucking 2 years later, you know. But I got the fuck out of there, and with no intentions of going back, and I stayed back there for about 6-8 months since then.
Well, it's got to be interesting, and you've had a few like this. Will you do me a favor? Will you turn his vocals down in the headphone output? And if you can give me any more, give me some more. Yeah. Like, try to even them out a little bit more. Yeah. Like, crank mine all the way up. Okay, and then just bring his down to, like, that whatever 0 line is. And that'll probably be enough, and then I can turn them back up. What's that? Okay, we'll bring it lower then. All right. Well, being a foreign Chicago boy, and you've had a few moments of this for sure. It's got to be great being a Bears fan right now, even in Viking territory.
right now it's great being a Bears fan.
Okay, that's too low.
We're not used to this, man. We ain't used to this at all.
Well, you guys have been to the Super Bowl.
I know, but no. Well, yeah, that was a great year, dude. That was a great year. 2005 was a great year. 05,
maybe
06,
a little higher.
Came up just short, but that was a great year. That was the Bears are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook, Denny.
Honestly, man, I think you guys took advantage of a very weak NFC that year. I don't think you had any business in the Super Bowl, and I don't think you ever had a shot to beat Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl.
Well, Rex Grossman threw 3 picks. They didn't blow us out. The Bears defense was good that year.
Rex Grossman was never. Yeah, that is true.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that was an all-time defense.
And we had Devin Hester, dude. He was a game changer.
Yep.
He ran that kickback.
But you should have stayed with Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton.
He's the one that got you there.
Sexy Rexy, dude. He was bad Rex that game. Yeah. Bad Rex. Yeah. He threw 3 picks. Yeah. If he throws
you can bring it up a little bit.
Bad Rex Grossman with some games throw 3 touchdowns. We blew out the Saints the week before. Drew Brees, right? That Drew Brees team beat Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Okay?
Yeah.
So who's to say that good Rex doesn't? I'm just saying. Now it wasn't meant to be, right?
You're talking the next year when the Saints fucking
correct. Just very next year.
Bounty Gate with the Vikings in the NFC. 09.
Very next, or at the same time frame, right? So the point is that
think about this, dude. Think about this. I
was just talking about this.
I just put this together. I just put this together as you said this out loud.
No.
So check this out. The Bears go to the Super Bowl in 08. The Vikings almost go to the Super Bowl in 09, and the Packers win the Super Bowl in 2010.
When the Packers won it in 2010, and
that's crazy,
neither the
though,
Bears,
dude.
neither the Bears or the Vikings could close the deal. That
but
really
what a
upset.
Crazy 3-year run.
That was it was 06 for the Bears is what it was. So then it was there was a break in there. That something happened.
No, because you guys lost to the Colts.
To the Colts, yep.
And the Colts went back to the Super Bowl the next year and lost to the Saints.
I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Look
It
this
was.
up,
I mean,
Bill.
either way,
2008 Super Bowl.
It was right there. It was right there. It was right in there, and something happened with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in there. Let's see.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, it's gonna fuck us. So this is all gonna be off 1 year for the listeners.
Oh, there's the Giants and the Patriots. Yeah, that got in the wing.
Slow down. This is all going to be off a year because that was the 2007 Patriots that went undefeated.
And then, yeah.
But the Super Bowl was in 2008. So everything I'm about to say, if you guys look this up, you got to do the buffer of the 1 year thing because it would be the 2008 season.
So what was 07?
So it'd be the 09 Super Bowl that I'm talking about.
And then let's see what 07 was.
That was the
Steelers and the Cardinals with the Santonio Holmes.
So you're right,
and Kurt
dude.
Warner.
So you're right.
Yeah, so there was a 2 or 3 in the middle.
Yeah.
The Bears were 05 or 06. I remember this.
I thought this fucking Colts went back to back, dude.
No, because Peyton Manning only won 1, and then he came back with the Broncos later, remember?
Yeah, but Peyton Manning went to 2 with the Colts. He beat the Bears and then lost to the Saints.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, he did. But it was,
and then he went to 2 with the Broncos. He lost to the Seahawks and beat the Panthers.
I don't think Drew Brees won it until the next year, 2010.
Yeah, because okay, so now if you go to the 2010 Super Bowl.
Because I was married. I was watching it with my in-laws.
If you go to the 2010 Super Bowl, that's the Saints.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Yep. And then the 2011 Super Bowl.
Saints versus Colts. There it is. Yeah.
The 2011 Super Bowl would be the Packers. Yep.
Yes. Yep. Now we're on schedule.
Yep. So go back to what did you say it was? 07?
It was 06. It would have been 06 Super Bowl, 05 season.
Okay, so 06 Super Bowl.
Nope, 05 Super Bowl, 04 season.
Holy fuck, so that was a few years. No, we're going the wrong way.
07,
it's got to be
the
07 Super Bowl.
Yep. There it is. Yep. 29-17.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. You guys never had a chance. However, what I'm getting at and where I'm going with this is different. This is different.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys are a Super Bowl team this year, but I think you have a better version of what the Lions had, not this year, but last year and the year before. So you'd understand this.
Yes.
Every team has like a 3-year window.
Yep.
Where they could really make a run.
Yep.
This is your year 0.
0-0, because it's ahead of schedule 1.
I don't know if it's ahead of schedule.
Well, yeah, because they got they got Caleb year 3, 4, and 5. They have 3 years left after this one. On his
but
rookie
year 5 is not that friendly if you pick up that 5th-year option. You're paying a guy. Look up what a 5th-year option is.
It's going to be a lot. I mean, they're going to have to pay his ass, but I mean, look, he's fucking good.
I think it's, just what is the 5th-year option, or how much is the 5th-year option? No, 5th.
I love the options. What is
option? Yeah, there you go.
What is the history of Homo
and
sapiens?
All I really need to know is, hold on, based on performance, blah 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 blah. No, just type in how much is the 5th-year option, because basically it equates to you have to pay the guy. It's like the average of the top 15 players.
So this is in 2025. Like it'll be in 2 years. It'll probably be close to 30 mil, 28, 26 mil. Which is, I mean,
this sucks because this isn't giving us a good explanation for it. So basically, it's like, I wish Anwar was listening. You know Anwar.
Oh yeah.
Because Anwar knows this. So does Scotty Ball if he's listening. But basically, it's like you take the top 15 players or top 12 players at your position.
It's like the franchise tag.
Yes, but less.
You're right.
Right? The franchise tag, I think it's top 5.
I think that they'll work out it. Honestly, this is what I think they'll do with Caleb Williams is they'll work out a long-term deal before the 5th-year option. The way things are working out right now, that's what I think will happen.
I don't know that he's that kind of character guy.
I just think that's what Chicago wants. And unless there's a monumental fucking slide, I think
that's what Daddy wants. That's what Daddy gets.
Him and Ben Johnson work well together, and the city is so desperate for it, and it's worked out great so far.
I think
that throw this last weekend clinched it.
Yeah, I think you win one playoff game this year if you win any. I think you win one this year. I think you're going to do the classic. This is my official prediction. Next year, you're going to do the classic. Last year we made it to the door. This year we knocked on the door. Next year we're going to kick that son of a bitch down.
Right.
I think that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a 3-year because you got to get rid of DJ Moore.
I want to see what happens next week.
You're going to get rid of DJ Moore next year.
He's gone. DJ's gone. He's gonna get traded because he starts the next year of an extension next year.
Exactly.
So we got to trade him. We're not going to get much back from him. It's like $28 million a year. He's going to.
But you still have Roma
He's
Dunze
really good though.
And Luther Burden on rookie contracts, along with Caleb Williams and a good old line.
The receivers are deep. Two stud tight ends.
And it's Chicago, which means you're always going to have a solid or great defense.
Manungai's mint.
Dude, that was my kid. That was my fantasy guy.
It's great. Yeah, I had him on one of my teams.
I was so desperate I had to drop him, and then immediately fucking that week he went off for 16 points.
He's great. He's like, you know who he reminds me of? Marion Barber. That's who he reminds me of. He's a battering ram.
Sure.
He's a battering ram, dude.
To me, he's like a slow Barry Sanders.
I think that the Bears, they just got to beef up on defense, man.
No, he's not Barry Sanders.
They got to beef up on defense. They need better pass rush, and they need
it. It's Chicago, dude.
That's what they need in the offseason. They just need to attack that. Bam. Kyler Gordon is their nickel's corner is made of glass. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has done okay, but I mean they have invested in Kyler Gordon, and he's made of glass.
You'll be fine. You guys will be fine. You got 3 years, and I think this is year 0 because, like you kind of said, this is Caleb's second year, so you still have years 3, 4, and then the possible 5th-year option.
The O-line is mint.
But you could, but let's just be conservative. This is year 1. This is year 1 of your 3-year window. Because honestly, your best chances at winning a Super Bowl in the modern NFL is your quarterback's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year. It's exactly why we're talking about this. It's that rookie contract. You invest all that money in other positions.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a timing game, man. And that's what made New England so impressive, and that's what makes Kansas City so impressive is they can pay these quarterbacks rock star salaries.
Dude, Drake May is killing it.
Yeah. I knew he would be a stud.
I did not see this coming, though, at all.
I totally did.
Man.
I had that draft. I had him above Caleb Williams.
Yep.
And I actually said Caleb Williams would be a bust, but that changes when Ben Johnson comes to town. So that's my out I'll give myself because I'm still not that into Caleb Williams. However, I put Drake May number 1, and I also put Bo Nix number 2. I said, that's the guy I think the Vikings should draft is Bo fucking Nix. And everybody was like, you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, this motherfucker is a gamer, bro. He's tough as nails, and he wins, and he makes gutsy throws on the money. I watched so much Bo Nix film to realize it wasn't a figment. It was real.
Nix, he's solid. He is very solid. He was solid then, and he is solid right now.
I said it then, and I'll say it now. I had no idea what I was looking at with J.J. McCarthy. I said, I don't know if I'm looking at a Jim Harbaugh fucking nerf or if this is really J.J. McCarthy. It looks like we were looking at honestly, to me, it really does look like we were looking at Jim Harbaugh nerf.
Here's the deal, is that I will freely admit that I was, after week 2 of this year, I was very, very nervous about Caleb Williams. Very nervous about it. And then it just turned, something clicked.
Or I'm sorry, buff. It would be a Jim Harbaugh buff.
So I will still stand by these.
You talking about JJ or are you talking about Caleb?
Caleb Williams. Okay. Right now, though, I will freely admit that I was very itchy trigger finger about it and probably wrong about it. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about before the season?
Yeah. And even going into week 2.
Yeah,
I was very. So I will admit when I'm wrong. Okay. And about that one, I was wrong about it. Right. I was very nervous. Okay.
Yeah, I told you to stay the course, dude.
Right. Exactly. Just to calm down. Right now, when the draft happened, I was fine with them taking him because I believed in the talent of Caleb Williams. Right. But what I will say still is that injuries aside. Now, that's a big if. I do like, from that draft, maybe the most still, Jaden Daniels. He's made of glass, potentially.
Well, that was the thing, is I said he was the most pro-ready quarterback, which is why I drafted him in my fantasy league that year. But I did not keep him because he's undersized.
Right.
And Yeah, it's only a matter of time with these scrambling quarterbacks, especially if you're not fucking Cam Newton.
Right.
It's only a matter, and even with Cam Newton, Dante Culpepper, fucking Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, you name it. At some point in time, these guys, because they're running around,
right,
they take so many fucking hits.
Right.
Whether it's concussions, shoulder injuries, hip injuries, something happens. And eventually, these guys are just not the same.
He ain't big either.
Now, if you're if you're Cam Newton, you can take a lot of that punishment. If
right.
you're the best athlete on the field for fucking 10 years, you can deal with that. You can compensate for it.
And Drake May's huge.
When you're Jaden fucking McDaniels or Jaden Daniels, we got a Timberwolves basketball player with the same or similar name. I always get confused, but yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, so which one is we have
Jaden McDaniels.
We have a Jaden. Wait, yeah, who's on the?
We have Jaden McDaniels on the Timberwolves, and then we have Jaden Daniels. We'll look it up. You don't have to. We got a producer now, but yeah, Jaden Daniels, you're correct. It's not that he's even, Jaden Daniels, yep. So it's not that he's even made of glass. It's just that he's a small dude. How big is he? Just type in size. Yeah. He's 6'4"?
Yeah,
there's no fucking way.
He's lanky. He's very lanky. He's very lanky.
6'4".
Very lanky. I don't
There's no way.
I don't think he's
6 foot.
I don't think he's
best.
210. I don't think he's 210 either.
Dude, he is 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's my size, dude. That's the point. And I knew that. And that's why I
You think it's that trumped up? The fucking the height is?
Dude, there's no way he is 6'4", dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro. He's 6 feet, 180 pounds. He's exactly my size, dude. There's no fucking way, dude.
That's like saying Bryce Young is 6'2".
Dude, get the fuck and Kyler Murray's 6 feet even.
Remember when Bryce Young got drafted?
Kyler Murray's a fucking midget.
He first showed up at minicamp. And he had no pads on, and it looked like he was looked like it was bring your kid to work day.
Kyler Murray is not 5'10". That motherfucker is 5'4" at best.
They're talking about
these these liars, dude.
He ain't 5'10".
No, they probably are this tall, but they don't look it around the big guys.
I don't think Kyler Murray's 5'10".
Dude, he's built like a midget. Even if he is 5'10", he's built like a midget.
I think he's more like 5'7".
Like, dude, when you watch, look at him. Look at his body. He's built like a midget.
Look at that picture. That one.
Dude.
That ain't 5'10", man.
That's not 5'10".
No, look at that. Look at that.
That's
5'7".
That's 5'6", 5'7".
Okay, that's 5'7", maybe and a half. Okay? Look at those big motherfuckers that he's sitting next to, dude. Those dudes are 6'2", 6'3", okay? He's 5'7", $180.
Yeah. Maybe the guy number 76.
And he knows it too. Look down the ground.
Guy number 68, since you can see they're kind of standing away from each other. He's farther away from the camera. That guy might be 6'5".
Why do you think he's always in a shotgun?
But what I'm saying is,
can't see over the line.
A foot, because of the way these guys are standing, there's a foot difference between 68 and Kyler Murray. Fucking, that dude's 5'4".
Motherfucking Joe C.
He's
from
a
Kid Rock
fucking
right
midget.
there. Yeah.
Dude, that's my favorite. See if you can find this quote on when Michael Jordan said, "Pass the ball, you fucking midget."
He is a tiny dude, man. Kyler Murray. Wow, yeah. What do you think about having him here?
Who?
Kyler Murray. Competition for JJ.
Are you fucking serious?
I heard that the other day on the radio.
Dude, get out of here. No.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
He will be a waste of money and a distraction in the logs room. Yeah.
He was tiny as fuck.
So this is not likely false because Muggsy Bogues has actually admitted this.
Oh, this is what you're talking about?
Dude, so
they ruined his career, he thinks.
Dude, so they were playing together. Yeah. And he admitted this. He said he literally it's probably not going to be in that video cuz they're trying to say it's not true, but
that would be really cool if that happened.
Dude, Michael Jordan literally said, "Shoot the ball, you fucking midget."
Yeah, I could see that happening.
And immediately from that moment on, Muggsy Bogues was never the same.
That's hilarious.
Of course he's trying to debunk it now because that fucking
short little fella or little ass.
Nah, he did.
Dude, he had a long career, man. Muggsy Bogues did. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Muggsy Bogues, he's trying to say it didn't happen now, though, because he's been getting mocked ever since that Jordan documentary came out.
I grew up playing basketball, dude, all the way through high school,
Yeah,
almost into college.
You called him a fucking midget.
I'm going to tell you this. I had college scholarships offers. All's fair in the basketball court, dude, okay? And you can talk as much shit as you want. No, nothing should be taken seriously on the outside of it, okay? Whatever. You talk a bunch of shit in the basketball court.
Bro,
that's funny shit, man.
I used to talk so much shit super quietly, though.
It's funny.
Like, you'd have to get really close to me to hear it, because I wouldn't say anything very loud. Dude, I would get in people's heads.
It's great.
I would get guys so off their game.
Yeah, it's part of the gig. It's part of the deal, man. It's fun to do. So I could totally see that happening. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
I was pretty athletic, and I was smart enough to, like, play games within the game.
Dude, Michael Jordan was ruthless killer.
Yeah,
you think anybody should be surprised him calling someone a midget?
He punched Steve Kerr in the face.
Absolutely not. Michael Jordan
in the chest.
Michael Jordan's like the most ruthless athlete of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was so ruthless that even he says, if I got to go back and do it all again, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, he lost friends and family.
Yeah.
Like,
not a good way to be.
Yeah. Even he's like, I probably wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. I mean, just, you know, so that's fucking funny. But I mean, he won.
What was that like growing up a fucking Bulls fan? That had to be ecstasy, dude.
It was crazy.
The greatest, widely regarded as the single greatest American athlete of all time.
Yeah, it was crazy.
In any sport, at any level.
Yeah.
And that's your hometown.
I'm going to tell you how that was. So, as a basketball fan, right? As a kid, I was a Lakers fan. Okay? Before Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, right? There was this is how I remember
it was Magic Johnson.
It was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, right?
Yeah.
And I liked the Lakers. It was Showtime, it was flashy, right? And as a kid growing up, I was just more attracted. And my dad was from Boston too, so that was another thing. I was rooting against him. My dad was from Boston. He loved Larry Bird, and he was from Boston. So, then Michael Jordan came in, right? And it was like, okay, it took me a minute to catch on to it, and then there was a slam dunk contest with Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah,
and it was like, this dude's doing something. But the Pistons beat him up for a minute.
Yeah, a couple of years,
right? But then, all of a sudden, the Bulls played the Lakers in the first finals.
Yeah, it was 1991.
Yeah,
1990-91.
Yeah,
look this up. Jordan's first finals. It was versus the Lakers.
I was in 8th grade. I think I was still in junior high, and I remember me and a dude on my basketball team. We were the only Lakers fans, right? Because he liked the Lakers too, but the Bulls just fucking there it is. The Bulls just fucking absolutely dominated them in the series.
Didn't the Lakers win Game 1?
The Lakers won Game 1. Yep. The Lakers won Game 1, and then the Bulls just shoved them aside, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And from that point forward, it was just like kind of sitting back and being like, what the fuck am I watching?
It wasn't even just that the NBA belonged to Michael Jordan. It was all of pro sports and pop culture now belongs to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and
he was the world.
He progressively got
him and Michael Jackson.
He progressively got better too and bigger, right?
Thicker,
thicker and just more like never in my life have I watched something that and growing up watching that as a kid. And I have many friends back at home that will say the same thing, that aren't musicians or aren't, but they apply it to their business. And they're like, failure is not an option. Right. And when my back is against the wall, I tap into this, and there's probably some part of this. It's not an option. Losing's not a fucking option, okay? There is no try. It's not even the Yoda shit. It's just you will not lose, right? And that motherfucker, when it was time to win, they never lost. Yeah. There wasn't the losing. There wasn't like, it's LeBron James. Here's how I'm going to tell you, LeBron James isn't even close to Michael Jordan. LeBron James loses. Michael Jordan never lost. I
don't even think he went to a Game 7. I think the closest was the Jazz 4-2, right?
Yeah, and then he took the time off in the middle or whatever, where I think he was suspended by the league for gambling. Right?
Possibly.
I do believe that, because his dad wound up dead.
Dude,
right?
If he doesn't do that, they win 8 in a row.
They went 8 in a row. Nobody's beating him. Because he came back. Nobody's beating him, right? So, because he winds up, Reinsdorf, the guy that owns the Bulls, owns the White Sox. So that's why he winds up in baseball, in the Double-A, right? Goes and does that. He ain't that good of a baseball player. But I mean, it's all tied to gambling debts. His dad winds up in the seedy North Carolina hotel and in his car dead from a gambling debt. That's what was going on in those hotels, right? So there's all these ties to like his gambling debts, right? And maybe he was involved in like fixing games potentially, right? And then you realize that the stats at the United Center were tilted, like to win his defensive players of the years and stuff like that. Some of those, like a lot of those games that he didn't get some of those steals. He didn't. It's coming out like now, right? No, it's not consequential for his legacy, really, right? But I mean, probably didn't average a couple more steals a game than they're saying that he did.
Right.
I mean, it's coming out now, right?
Bro.
So it's all this stuff that gambling was involved in. The NBA is so sleazy. It's the sleaziest league of them all. And so I don't have any false illusions.
Have you seen? Have you seen 50 Cent talking shit to LeBron now?
Oh no, what's he saying to him?
Bro, pull up 50 Cent's tweet.
All of a sudden,
pull up 50 Cent's tweet to LeBron. It just got posted.
50 Cent seems to be backing off of P. Diddy now that P. Diddy don't seem to be spending 30 years in jail. That was what I seem to notice. He seems to be being a lot nicer to him.
Oh no! The damage is done. The damage
that damage is way done.
No, the damage wasn't. So before we pull up the LeBron thing, the damage, the goal was not to put Diddy behind bars for the rest of his life. The point was to destroy the character, and persona, and legacy of Diddy, because Diddy didn't care about anything other than being Diddy.
Diddy's a gangster, though.
He's not a real gangster. No, he's actually not a real gangster. 50's a real gangster, and this is the point. Is 50 was like, oh, you want to fuck with me? I'll ruin your fucking life.
I think that when he gets out, things are going to get interesting.
I think Diddy was intelligence. I think,
he was working with someone.
I think Diddy was the Black Epstein. That's what I think.
I think you're probably close onto something there.
No, you should just be able to find it.
That's great. Whatever that is,
you should just be able to find it.
Whatever that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know. Click on one of them, dude. Or go or look at an image, dude. Like, find it.
Why is Fitty? This one ain't about basketball.
Type in recent. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. It's the third one. That one. Yeah, click that one.
Oh, stop acting like you're innocent. You're next, and it ain't about basketball. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey, yo, LeBron, stop acting like you innocent. You next, and it ain't about basketball, champ.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that he was calling him out like that.
Yeah.
Well, LeBron is.
That's actually from 2 years ago, apparently.
There's a bunch of records of LeBron talking about, like, hey, I'm out in Stockton.
That's actually a 2-year-old tweet. I just saw that timestamp.
I'm out in Stockton. Anybody looking to have a pizza party?
That does say 2023, right? Yeah, okay.
There's a bunch of tweets where as the Diddy stuff's going on, hey, I haven't had a late-night pizza party for a while. I'm out in Stockton. LeBron saying this shit. Recently, like within the last year or two, what a bonehead. Yeah. Why would you do that? Yeah. Why would you do that?
Especially after Pizzagate, which is totally real, by the way.
It's completely real, and that is how those people talk. Are you that big of a moron? At best case scenario, you're innocent and the biggest idiot on planet Earth. At worst case scenario, you're guilty.
I knew Pizzagate was real when I found out the FBI had all those symbols on their website saying these are known pedophilia secret symbols.
Sure.
That they hang in shops and restaurants.
There it is. Haven't been to a pizza party in a minute. Culver City. I mean, really? You can't make this shit up, man.
He's such a weirdo. That guy, that's one of those guys who's been so rich and powerful for so long. He probably doesn't even remember what it's like to be poor anymore. Because that dude, this is what people don't understand about LeBron James. He was rich by the time he was in middle school. He was that good at basketball.
I think a lot of this stuff, even with athletics, man.
He's the last player to go directly to the NBA and skip college.
I think there's a lot of satanic rituals that go on with this shit, even behind the scenes, even with athletics. I think there's a lot
He was so good. That he signed contracts with sponsors and endorsements that alienated him from college basketball because even at 15, they knew he was so good, he was going straight to the NBA. Right. Bro, do you have any idea the athletic prowess you have to know at 15 you're going straight to the NBA. That's insane,
Well,
dude.
that's
That's
like-
Mike Tyson levels of dominance.
Was it the last time that I was over here, or maybe I was talking to somebody else, that in China they had they breed with the intent of having
And where?
China.
China.
In China.
China.
In China. In China. They breed with the best male.
Oh yeah. Yao Ming.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, and
Yao
like
Ming.
some like chick gold medal athlete to have the best. Whatever.
Yao Ming is a literal Chinese
Yao Ming,
government breeding program.
Yeah.
Experiment.
I mean, what the fuck, man?
The conspiracy is that
Some weird ass shit, dude.
the conspiracy is that they used a version of in vitro fertilization / cloning because it was around the same time they were doing fucking crazy experiments at the beginning of the cloning technology. But yeah, Yao Ming is a direct, it's not even a conspiracy. The Chinese government got the two biggest, best athletes, male and female. The question is whether they forced them to fuck.
Yeah.
The real conspiracy is that it was in vitro.
That's just fucking. That would be. No, you fuck. Now.
Either way, I mean, we know we did that in America with slaves back in the day.
Yeah.
But regardless, in vitro fertilization has been a thing for a long time. So that's really the only debate is how the baby was conceived.
We are a fucked up race of fucking beings, man.
Oh, the Russians
I'm
have
gonna
been
say
doing
that right
shit.
now, okay? For everybody listening, we are a fucked up race of fucking life forms.
When people are left at their
man.
own, dude.
Good grief.
When people are
Smoke
left
this
to their
pot.
own devices, bro, all human beings are capable of all evils.
I'll tell you what, I agree with that statement.
Dude, I got one for you. This is something I just found out. And I knew that this was true, but it's something I found out statistically.
Yep.
Did you know that there were more white slaves sold into slavery in the Barbary slave trade
Sure.
than there ever were that were brought to America during the entirety of our slave period?
No, I didn't know that. I mean, nothing's shocking to me. Here's something that I embraced a while ago. Okay, and this is just a universal statement, right? Nothing that I've been taught in my fucking life do I believe to be true. Okay.
It's so crazy,
the inverse of all of the narratives and all of the knowledge that I've been taught, that's what I believe. And I'm being dead serious when I say that, okay?
And you should because 9 times out of 10, whatever you're being told, the exact opposite is true.
It's the way that it is, yeah.
Or it's true, but you're accusing the wrong person, and you're actually the one doing it.
I'm not even upset about it anymore. It's just the way that it is. And so I know that I stick and move around those rules and laws of nature, right? That's just the way that it is.
To me, the best example is the Minnesota DFL claiming that the Republicans are stealing and grifting from poor people to line their own pockets. While they're literally actually doing that.
They're the good guys. But the wealthy elite on the Republicans and the big businesses are the problem. Meanwhile, the tax-paying citizens are literally getting robbed by them. Okay.
Literally. It's not even a conspiracy.
Literally. That is what is happening. But the other people are the problem that don't want that tax money.
And it's not new, by the way. Some people say this is only new and it only happened during the pandemic.
And
wrong.
Furthermore,
Will, pull this up.
Furthermore, they are saying they're the good people.
There's an old Star Tribune, so you might even just want to type old Star Tribune, 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's an article.
I can't even with that
They
whole thing.
wrote this. The Star Tribune wrote this article. It's old. It's 10 years old. And they were reporting back then that the Somalians were using our money to send back to Somalia, and they were shipping it back in suitcases.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happens with that, whatever. When you give somebody money, you can't police what they fucking do with it, period. You know what I mean? And anybody that thinks that's not going to happen, you're fucking kidding yourself. I guess I was never concerned with that, right? But what it is
they've been doing it as long as they've been
The elected officials are, they've been doing it as long as they've been here because they've been allowed to, wouldn't you? I would do whatever I can get away with.
Especially if I came from a country where that's what you do.
Listen, here's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I'm not nearly as mad at them.
Let me put it this way.
I'm mad at the people that are in office.
Let me put it this way. Let's reverse this. Let's reverse this so everybody can chew on this, right?
Yeah.
Let's make this super relatable. Here's the point. If you take me, Jared, from America, and you put me in any country, in any economy, you know the first thing I'm going to try to do? Get a job. The second thing I'm going to try to do? Start a business. Fill a niche, right? You know why? Because those are the principles that I was raised on.
Right.
I was taught this is how you actually build real wealth. You get a good job, okay, or any job. You just get some sort of income so you get all your basic needs met. And then through that, you will develop experience, networks, and a reputation. And through that, you could either invest or start your own business.
Right.
Either way, you start building a snowball. And then over time, even though my path is only 5 degrees different than yours, over time, that 5 degrees, we are in two very different places 5-10 years later. Okay? Because that's how I was raised.
Sure.
However, if you were raised...
They were not raised that way, yeah.
If you were raised in a culture where you lie, cheat, steal, hustle, rape, kill, whatever you got to do to get your money... If I put you in a new country, you're not going to immediately do things our way. It takes generations. And what I'm saying is, when you have the wrong people in positions of authority and you're afraid of looking racist, quote, that's the thing.
Well, that's the company line.
He was afraid of looking...
That's the company
line. This is the thing.
But
if we go after this, we're going to look racist. And the Somalians here in Minneapolis sued the city of Minneapolis for racism and discrimination.
It's bullshit, though. They're getting...
It is bullshit.
The reason that it's bullshit is because on its face, they're getting more benefits than the average person.
Obviously,
okay,
but what
so
I'm saying
there's no
is it's not
racism there. They're getting more benefit. They're actually getting preferential treatment. You can't sue somebody for racism when you're getting preferential treatment.
No, but here's
the lawsuit will get thrown out of fucking court so quickly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Legally speaking,
I agree with you. 100%.
Threaten me wherever you want,
dude. I agree with you. 100%.
If you're going to threaten me, I'm going to fucking take you into court and make you look like an idiot.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
This is what happens. This is what happens in Minnesota. Okay,
because they're pussies. They're pussies. They will not go at toe-to-toe with anybody. And
that's exactly what it boils. And I'll tell you why. So here's what happens. These Somalians, they sued the state of Minnesota for discrimination and racism.
Right.
Two things happen. Number one, that costs money. Number two, it looks bad. And
that's the problem.
Then
they don't want to look bad.
That's exactly
God forbid you look bad.
So, and that's where Tim Walz is coming under scrutiny.
Such a dipshit, man.
There's documents that show Tim Walz saying, no, we're not doing this. We're going to look racist.
He's getting kickbacks, man. He's getting kickbacks, and it's a fucking under-the-table deal. He's getting kickbacks. That party's getting kickbacks and fucking votes. I mean, anybody, I don't know, man. Anybody that doesn't look at it that way, you're kidding yourselves. That's the way that I see it. It's real simple.
What did you find, Will?
I found something here.
It's a business.
Will you turn your mic up in the headphones?
Do I gotta clip this? It's
no.
It's a business arrangement.
I already punched it for you.
It's a business arrangement, right? And that's it. It's a business arrangement.
So Will found something here. Let me read this. With the Somali economy in shambles because of civil war, many people living there depend on assistance from family members in the United States to pay for food, medicine, and other basic necessities. Somalia has little banking infrastructure. Years ago, the U.S. government forbade U.S. banks from sending money to informal banking systems in Somalia. That left Somali Americans with no way to send money to relatives desperate for help except by sending cash.
Right. So here's the deal.
Then they started sending shit in suitcases. Last week, Fox News strung together anonymous sources and rumors to libel the Somali community in Minnesota. Minnesota Public Radio reported that one named source, who also testified at a quickly called legislative hearing, has a serious past history of making false and defamatory statements. He has been sued for false statements. Oh, fuck off.
Okay.
I see what they're trying to do here. Oh, fuck all the way off. They're trying to say these are innocent victims and they don't have a choice. Fuck off. They're funding terrorists.
It's all bullshit.
Fuck
it's all
you
bullshit,
guys, man.
That's been happening, and you got to think, why has it been happening? It had to be allowed for some reason. There's a shadow organization involved.
No.
Okay,
look more for images when you're looking for that old story. Like type in the.
There's reasons
you don't even have to have suitcases full of cash in there. Just have in old Star Tribune article, Somalians sending money or something like that.
Here's
and then look
this-
for images, and you'll find a screenshot.
It's important that I say this real quick. I just want to say this categorically about this issue real quick before we go any further, okay? I deal with people on a case-by-case basis, okay? Regardless of, this is just...
Okay, how many cases have you actually met a cool Somalian that you actually like taking out?
Several. I've had several friends, okay?
I'm not talking all Muslims. I'm talking Somalians.
Yeah, Somalians. Yeah, I've had several Somalian friends. Yeah, on very core levels, like very just as I'd have friends with you, like, and this is over the course of my life in rehab, and I've me personally, okay, I'm talking my life experience. I have never had an issue with anybody of any kind, okay, because I believe, and this is what I believe, I'm a weirdo myself. I'm a unique dude myself, okay, and I don't really fit anywhere. Any necessarily myself, right? And so because of that, let's just all kind of figure it out together, right? It's not. I'm not threatening of any type of race or species, and that's just kind of the vibe that I pick up, right? I've never had an issue with anybody. I try to work with people the same way. Now, that being said, when multiple people of the same group of people are the ones doing it,
right?
Okay, we have to analyze that data and wonder why the fuck it's happening. Okay? Wonder why it's happening and take a look at it and then take a look at what's responsible for it. Okay? Or we're going to turn our fucking heads to it and not solve it at all. Okay? And that's whether it's Somalians, Irish people, fucking Germans, skinheads. It doesn't matter who it is. Okay? This is how a civilization works if you want to keep it clean and have an operation going. Right?
Right.
That's how I look at things. And when I look at this, it's a fucking mess. When it came in and the program started, it's been a fucking mess altogether and money flying all over the place. And then fucking people accusing me of being racist when you're getting more than I'm getting. And I don't even know where my money's going.
Well,
okay,
again,
that's
for
the
me-
way that I see it, I guess.
for me,
and it's
not
fucking,
even-
it doesn't even make any sense. None of it makes any sense.
I don't care that they're Somalian. They could be Hungarian for all I give a fuck.
Right.
But when you come here and then you say, and you make public statements where you're in a leadership position, so whether it's the Somalian sheriff elected in Ramsey County or wherever the fuck that was, or it's Ilhan Omar, when they're saying they're Somalian first and then American, get the fuck out of here.
Why are you talking shit, too?
You can't be in positions of authority or leadership if you're not America first. Period.
well,
End of
right,
story.
this
if
is
you
America.
if you have any interests of any foreign government whatsoever, you should not be in any position of authority in this country. Period. End of story.
I agree completely. It's
and that should not be a weird or awkward thing to say.
Listen, I have adopted this, I don't know, within the last year, and I think it's a totally fair statement. This country, and an observation too, this country has slid too far simply because we have made the rules for the minority at the risk of the majority. We've put the majority on the side
Correct.
and fucking kowtowed to the minority when it should be the other way around.
And it's the wrong minority because the only minority we should be worried about is the biggest minority,
Listen,
which is the individual person.
Well, right, exactly. You want to take care of everybody, okay? Do the best you can. But you don't make the fucking rules and you don't set an economy on a minority of anything. You set it on the majority.
Unless that majority is, like I said, the individual person.
Sure,
right?
right. But you do it for the sense of the system. Okay, for the health of the system, so then the minority can survive in the system. You don't fucking kowtow to a small part of the system.
That's exactly,
exactly.
You don't That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying. Because if you,
it's idiotic. It's idiotic.
The way we were supposed to work and the way it worked for so long and why it thrived is we had a system that was set up to benefit the individual.
Right.
Because what's best for the individual is what's best for the whole.
Theoretically speaking, yes. Yeah.
Now we're saying we're going to change rules for this tiny group of 1/4% of hamster people.
Right. Because
because
something happened to me.
Right, but it's like, okay, I understand these hamster people need this special treatment, but at the same time you're forcing 30 million Americans to change their businesses for these hamster people.
Right.
And that's not good for the economy.
It's not good for anything.
Which trickles back down to the hamster people.
Correct. And,
So it's like-
without an economy, there is no hamster people because there's none of us.
Exactly.
Right? It's all it's not. You got to get over yourself at some point in time.
So to bring this back
Right.
back to what we were fucking talking about, because I think we lost people for a second, because we even lost me for a second. The idea of, well, this is what's best for the hamster people. Here's the thing is, we're going to hand out business licenses and funding to minority businesses. Okay. Well, that's fine, except for now you're literally incentivizing people of a certain look or type to rip you off. And that's what happened here, right?
That is what happened. Yeah.
And why I say this is because we'll see if you can find this, and it's going to be sketchy because there's a lot of bullshit on the internet now, but I believe it's something like 75 or 85% of Somalian-owned businesses are directly funded by state programs. And I don't think that's just Minnesota. I think that's also Ohio, Kansas, Connecticut. So when they say we're a thriving part of the economy, we're a fabric of this nation, if you just cut off the government funding,
right,
none of these businesses could or would survive.
It's a fraction of the taxes they pay.
I'm not even going into that part.
Right.
And then I know for a fact, 75% of Somalian women in the state of Minnesota are on welfare. And 50% of all Somalian people in the state of Minnesota are on welfare. However, I have never once seen, and I've lived all over this city for 25 fucking years, almost 30 years now. I have never once seen a Somalian Muslim family that didn't have a man living in that house.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Meaning they're committing welfare fraud by claiming this woman has 6 kids and is a single mother, because they don't, in Islam, they don't need a government piece of paper from America to say they're married. So they enter the country unmarried, but he's absolutely the husband.
Sure.
And I know because I've lived literally next door to these people all over this city for decades now.
Sure.
This is not hyperbole. This is, I didn't read this. I am telling you guys, this is the reality.
I got you.
And some of them absolutely openly admit it to your fucking face if you simply have the balls to ask
none
them.
of this is shocking to me. Hey, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Okay, some people get upset about that. But ever since I've been up here...
Somalians aren't the only one committing this fraud.
Ever since I've been up here, bro, okay, people...
Regular black folk commit this fraud. Regular white folk commit this fraud.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
This is a common fraud exchange, but
ever since
the percentage
I've lived up
of Somalians that are doing it is outrageous.
It's not a Somalian problem, okay?
I mean, it's
what I'm telling you is this. Ever since I've lived up here, bro, I used to take the mega bus back home, and all the people from Chicago talk about how easy it is to rip the state off. It's common knowledge, and they laugh about it. The Chicago people come up here to rip the state off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary, Indiana, and Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes,
too.
it's been happening
it's
for
those
years.
3 cities,
It's been
and then
happening
on
for
top
years.
of that,
So,
not only do they do that, but then they claim Minnesota's racist because Minnesota has one of the lowest percentages of homeowners of our own native citizens being black.
I'm just gonna put this out for a minute. This is a good cigar, though.
Don't put it out. Just let it sit.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
So,
It's a Minnesota problem.
We have the best, other than maybe California, we have arguably the best welfare system, and our percentage of blacks on the welfare system is at a very tippy top high. So naturally, you would think, well, of course they don't own homes, because who's going to make the argument you should be able to be on welfare and own your own home? No one. No one would make that argument.
No one.
However, the moment you bring that up, you're racist.
I ain't racist about nothing.
It's not racist about anything.
No.
Here's welfare benefits are super dope.
Here's why it's not racist. I'm going to say this to anybody. I don't want to pay for nobody's shit. It's that simple. I don't care what you look like. I'm done with that shit, dude.
People are wondering why we're talking about this. Here's why. Because you were the first person.
I don't want to pay for nobody's shit.
You were the first person to come on this podcast 6 years ago and say, I don't remember if you said you were conservative or you were a Republican.
I said I was a Republican.
You were the first.
At that point in time, I was a Republican. I just don't like Donald Trump. I never voted for Donald Trump. But at that point in time, I was a committed conservative Republican that just isn't a part of the religious part of it. But I mean, the Democratic Party is a fucking joke. I mean, I've long thought that, and I think that anybody that can't see that at this point just doesn't want to admit that they're wrong.
I didn't see it.
Period.
I didn't see
but
it.
You came around and you were like, dude, I see what you're saying. Like about a year later. But you were like, you got some balls, because that was not cool to say.
Dude, you did that shit
super early.
dude.
But then people started to come around, though. But I was ahead of it, dude. But here's the thing. The Democratic Party's crooks, and they're hollow, and they're fucking in it, just like we're seeing in our home state. That's all that it is. It's
and
false
what
promises.
I mean by this, though, buddy, is what I mean, just to put context for you and for the listeners keeping up with this. To put this into context, what I mean by this is what most people did when they become disenfranchised from the Democrats, they claim to be libertarian. That was like the segue, and that's what I did, and that's what almost everybody did.
Yeah.
You never did that. You were just like, no, I'm a Republican. Fuck all you people.
Yeah, so
I remember you sitting at fucking, I know where you were because I left, and then an hour later seeing this post. You were sitting at Spring Street Bar. You weren't downstairs in Club Underground. You were sitting at Spring Street Bar. You and I ran into each other. I think I bought you a beer, or you bought me a beer.
Yep.
Or you bought my wife a drink, or I don't remember. Somebody bought somebody a drink, and we hung out for like 15 minutes, and I left. And an hour later, I seen you make this crazy rant about how you fuck the Democrats in Minnesota. You've seen this before in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, explain that to people to give them context that I already have.
I mean, here's the thing: is that I grew up as a kid seeing you. I mean,
That's what it was. That's what it was. You said, this was your rant. You said Minnesota has never actually seen real racism or segregation.
No, they haven't. They don't know. And
that was the context.
Now
slavery was never legal here. Blah 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 blah.
Now, I gotta piss.
Keep going.
They don't understand. Well, my premise is this: is that Minnesota has no clue about what real fucking crime is like, and if you keep doing what you're doing, what's going to happen is you're going to turn this place into a cesspool unless you change your voting habits, unless you change who you elect into office. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, that's exactly what's happened. I said, if you continue to vote and behave like there's no problems, you're going to end up just like the place that I grew up in. And you could talk shit and you could say that I don't know what I'm talking about because I grew up in the suburbs, but I grew up 40 minutes out just like it was Apple Valley. And I'm telling you this right now. You are turning this into, you think it's not a big deal? It's a huge deal. You have a great place here. But what you don't want to do is ignore the fact that there's an issue. Right? And sure as shit, now here we are today. I'm like, you have to admit the fact what you're doing is wrong, essentially. And that just nobody seemed to want to understand that simple concept. Like, it's okay to change. There's a lot of really loyal people to the progressive movement, and they don't really want to understand that they've been lied to their face for a long time that these people are the good people. They're not the good people. They're not the good people at all. They come here saying that they're going to help people, and then they take our money, they take our taxes, and they never actually apply those taxes to what they say they're going to, or they allow other groups to take that money for other things and take a cut of it. And get rich off of it. Anybody that doesn't see that needs to understand that that's what's been happening. These are not the good people, okay?
Exactly.
And I know that hurts. It probably hurts to feel that you're lied to.
He finally found it. Here it is.
Right?
Here it is.
I've had it ready for a while.
No, I know, but I wasn't looking at the screen, and then I had to take a piss. But yeah, Somalis funnel millions to East Africa. Yeah, so this is a shitty screenshot of it, but this is an article from like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. So what we're talking about, you guys, this is why I've been railing anybody who follows me on social media, whether it's Twitter or
and it just gets I was reading something about this today. A guy on Facebook that lives in Kenya. He explained the whole process. I don't know how I ran into him on my feed. He's a dude that lived in Kenya. Yep. And he's like, here's how it goes. Yep. Here's where it goes here. Here's where it goes here. Here's why I could go here because of this violent group. And I was like, holy motherfucking shit.
And
this dude ain't fucking around, man. Like,
here's the thing. There's allegedly recordings. Woo. There's allegedly audio recordings of Elon Omar coaching people on how to send this shit and funnel it through
Yeah, like
people in
suitcases
Mogadishu
of money.
to avoid the IRS altogether.
That's great. That's great.
Dude, she's under investigation for legitimate voter fraud.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Campaign fraud, embezzlement, funding of terrorism. Dude, she is so close to being removed from. And again,
What a
it's
great chick.
fucking obvious if you actually lived here and watched what's got. Because have you ever actually met somebody face to face who were like, "I love Ilhan Omar and I believe in all her policies"? No.
No. I mean,
you've
it's never. No.
If you've met anybody, they always go, "Yeah, she's not my favorite."
I've actually, the only people I've ever met say that they hate her fucking guts.
There's very few people I hate in this world, and Ilhan Omar is one
the
of them.
vast majority of people, whenever her name comes up, they say that they absolutely hate. I hate that cunt. I
And
think
just
is
for
pretty
con-
much what ends up getting said.
Just for
I hate
context,
that cunt.
Let me explain why I hate this woman. Let me explain for context, so I just don't sound like a random asshole. Here's
No,
why.
it's-
Here's
yeah,
why.
it's-
Here's why.
Please do explain.
She claims everything is racism and bigotry, chauvinism, Islamophobia. However, here she is, a black female Muslim immigrant who came to this country and who's literally risen to the highest possible station our country will give you, and it's still not good enough. This country still sucks in her eyes. Bitch, you're the American dream. It doesn't get any better than the life you're living. To me, that's a recipe for being an ungrateful bitch. And I don't give a fuck where you're from. I don't care if you're an American. If you get to that level and you're like, everybody hates me because I'm a woman, then fuck you. You got there. And you're a woman. Who gives a shit? The people decided you were the person for the job. But I think we have a complaining culture. I think that's the point, is that people elect people to complain for them instead of, hey, go get this done.
Well, it's just, people for whatever reason figured out. I have this theory. They figured out that there are so few people in this world that will fucking just get in the mix and get into conflict, right? Nobody likes conflict whatsoever. Like I'll get into it with you. So these people talking up shit or get it or
They like the superficial
yeah,
conflict.
the superficial. So Elon Omar could go, this, that, blah, blah. Oh, God forbid you get labeled a racist. Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck what you call me. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it on.
Yep.
Let's go. Okay. I want to get in the mud. I'll go down in the mud and let's really get into it, right? Now you get them disarmed, right? But they're banking on the fact that the average person is very scared of that these days.
You might as well call me a purple dinosaur fucker.
Yeah, dude, whatever.
That's about as much power. I just got into this again. I didn't really get into it, but I just had another discussion with Jen Dean about this online again, which is, she goes, if you don't agree that this is Nazi shit, then fuck you. And I was like, yeah, because here's the thing, is like,
what was the context?
Every once in a while, something happens that does have that Venn diagram overlap with something the Nazis did.
Well, sure.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. You've been calling everything Nazi shit.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Since 2016.
You can't do that.
So now most people are, and here's really what's going to happen. I got to rant.
The Nazis were an evil war machine.
But I'm going to tell you guys how.
Okay, let's be clear about that. The Nazis were a very evil, killing war machine.
This is both a psychological.
Not many things today are evil, killing war machine.
I got a rant for you.
Okay.
It's short, but it's poignant.
Yeah.
So this is both a psychological and sociological description and prescription.
Mm-hmm.
If you want something to happen, here's what you do. Okay. First, you alienate an entire people by calling them Nazis, bigots, homophobes. I call it phobophobe, right? So you're a homophobe, a fucking xenophobe, an Islamophobe, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Transphobe, whatever. You're phobophobe. Okay. Okay. That worked for about a few years. Then the next level is you desensitize people to it. Okay. That's the phase we're in now. Everybody's desensitized to it now. So now when I see an actual Nazi, or not see an actual Nazi, but if you accuse somebody of actual Nazi behavior, I'm like, yeah, probably not. Here's the thing. There's a following phase. There's actually a few more phases, but here's the next phase. what you do is you basically dilute the word Nazi, bigot, phobophobe. You dilute all these things to just when the next generation of kids come up, they go, oh, that's just somebody who's unlikable. Okay?
Okay.
The next cycle of that evolution.
So you're an asshole.
The next cycle, hear me out though. The next cycle of, again, sociological, psychological evolution is, oh, that's a rebel.
Okay, sure.
The stage after that is, that's cool.
Sure.
So what happens is you're creating a generation of 5-year-olds that think being a Nazi is cool. And you don't even realize that because 30 years before that, what you were doing was calling everyone a Nazi because they disagreed with you. And I'm telling you, this is literally prescriptive and descriptive because if you have an analogy-driven mind like I do, you can go back in history and watch the cycle I just described happen multiple times.
Yeah.
Then you can take this and you can extrapolate this into the future and watch it happen with the literal example that I just gave you. I'm telling you, this is how it fucking works, dude. So 10 years from now, you're going to have 5-year-olds.
Well, they need to be told. They need to be told that shit just ain't the case, and
it ain't cool.
And then,
but I'm telling you,
and
what
be
we're doing
educated
is
on what the Nazis actually
we're
did.
We're creating
you know?
punk rockers. We're creating hippies. We're creating beatniks. We're creating metalheads. We're creating this new, but they're just going to use a new label, and it's going to be so diluted that eventually, calling somebody a Nazi, a 12-year-old is going to be proud of that. Because all you're really doing is saying, I don't think like the system. That's the road we're headed down.
Well, somebody needs to smack that 12-year-old's mama.
And that's where the Nazis, the real Nazis, will gain their actual power back. Which is why we shouldn't be flippantly calling everybody a Nazi. That's a serious
allegation.
That's like calling somebody a rapist. Maybe worse than a rapist.
Hey, can we say hi to my brother Steve? I think he's listening still right now.
No, we can't say hi.
Steve Moog in Crystal Lake, Illinois.
No, all Steves are off limits.
2917 Garden Lane. This is a shout out to 2917 Garden Lane. Crystal Lake,
all
Illinois.
Steves are off limits.
All
sorry.
Steves are off limits, apparently.
If his name was Eric, we'd say hi, Eric. But sorry,
Alicia.
Sorry, Steve.
Bear.
I'm just kidding.
Steve, you better get a bottle of water.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah,
buddy.
shout out to Steve. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just
all
a lot,
up.
dude. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it starts to affect like us as musicians too, because these things get so infected in our downtown cultural economy that we lose things like the music scene. We lose the good clubs.
Listen, at the end of the day, I honestly, man, this is a very simple thing that I don't think anybody should take as bullshit whatsoever. I try to be as cool as possible with anybody. You know what I mean? It ain't about my belief system or anybody's fucking belief system, whatever. I don't give a fuck, right?
You're talking about the religion side.
I'm just talking about everything, right? I'm talking about political beliefs, whatever. I just want to be cool, okay? And let's fucking build a culture, a musical culture, right? And there was a period of time where none of this shit really came up at all. When we were all out at the Quest and shit. Nobody thought about none of this shit. If it ever came up, it was brief, or we did a politically themed show or something like that around a election cycle, but that was rare.
Now you got Chad Erickson starting fights with John Weideman online.
It's the stupidest shit ever. And Tempest talking shit to him, and I introduced her to him. Now I'm like, why are you doing this? Okay, listen. And if anybody and all of you guys are listening, I care about all of you guys. Okay, what the fuck?
Specifically, Chad Erickson, shut the fuck up.
Listen. I care about every one of you guys. Okay, and this is my stance on all. Like, the politics has just got to stop. Just stop, okay? We're playing music here. We're fucking playing music here. We're not.
And people who go, Jared, well, why don't you shut the fuck up? Here's the thing, because I'm not trying to make it in your music industry anymore.
I mean, fucking
and I haven't been for a long time.
I know I'll go off on a rant or whatever right now and then, and that's fine. Get it out of your fucking system, okay? But then that's that.
Don't make it your life.
That's whatever. Get it out there, okay? And then fucking... nobody's saying anybody's right or wrong, okay? But we're musicians.
Well, I'm saying a lot of people.
Yeah, okay, right. And I think a lot of people are fucking out of their minds. Yeah, right. Totally. And so, but at the end of the day, none of us are fucking have the right answers to anything. I mean, that's very clear. Look at all of us, okay? So either the solution isn't to not hang around each other, because like half of people agree this and half people agree that. Nobody will go anywhere then.
Well, and that's
That's what's been happening.
That's the real point.
It's horrible.
Like,
it's horrible.
Like if you're not willing to work with somebody who's Republican,
It's terrible, man.
but that Republican is definitely the best person to help you achieve the next
Right.
goal in your career, and you go, no, I don't like your politics.
Right.
You're an idiot.
It's just bad. It's bad, and people got to get over it. You know, I wouldn't be saying anything about it if I didn't see it over the last year. You brought it up to me, and then I seen it in the numbers over the last fucking year, dude. And then reading the vibe of bands playing with whoever. It's very thick in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you wouldn't notice until somebody points it out.
When you pointed it out, I noticed it, and I was picking up on it for sure. But when you pointed it out, it definitely shined a light, and then I noticed it
Because I
online.
was asking people, and here's how I
Yep.
found out. I was asking people,
Yep.
I was like, why can't I get in there? Like, dude, it's the people.
Listen, I
It's
was
the
looking at the
people,
numbers, the numbers everywhere. It didn't matter what combos I put together, my own band. Fucking, this is why I'm in a new project. But here's the thing: it didn't matter. Didn't matter what bands were ever. The numbers were down everywhere, right? And it was Minneapolis, though. Minneapolis is where I was booking. And it wasn't so bad to where I was losing rooms or whatever, but it was down. And I'm like, dude, I'm putting together good shows, okay? And these are good bands. And couldn't put my finger on it so much. And I'm like, when you had brought that up about the division, it made sense. It fucking just made sense because the numbers for everybody float around like between 30 on the low end to like 70. But there was a gap of
Then all of a sudden,
40.
the same bill or similar bill does something across town with different people running it and being involved, and they draw 300 people.
It was something, I don't know. It was just very, and you know, granted, here, and I'll take full accountability for, you know, getting into that, and there's probably shit that I could have done better for sure to bring more people in, right? But at the end of the day, in music culture, you know,
it's a game, you know, timing. There's a lot of things that can
A lot of things going on.
but keep going.
I mean, enough people. I didn't feel. How about this? I didn't feel as if that was really the issue. Okay, over the last like year and a half. Now,
Correct. It's not.
I don't think that was the issue. I think
it's an issue.
It was an issue, right? But I don't think that was the
Exactly.
prevailing issue as far as why the numbers were down. I think, looking back at the end of the day, as the booker and promoter, I did my part as far as securing the opportunities and putting the chess pieces on the board. There was some other element that I honestly don't feel I had anything to do with. Okay.
Correct.
And I think it was indicative because my band's first show there was one of the bigger draws of the year. Wasn't a huge numbers, right? But I put my weight behind it, new project, whatever. Okay. So when I was away from it, I could observe as just the booker, watching it happen, and there was definitely an element that was going on.
Yep.
Definitely an element going on amongst the community.
Yep.
Totally. And I was helpless to put my weight into it, even for another 50 people or whatever. Right? So,
and we're kind of beating around the bush a little bit here on purpose because we don't want to alienate everybody. But like, there's a lack of cohesion in the scene. Certain people don't feel comfortable around other people, and it is directly involving politics. And it's not because people have political opinions, it's because people have made those politics their entire identity, and those people who've made it their identity have seemingly gone out of their way to alienate anybody who doesn't 100% agree with that identity. There's very little overlap, or hey, we don't agree with each other on this, but we can get along because of ... That seems to have died, which was kind of how you and I grew up. Like, you and I grew up in a world where you could have a Republican father and a Democratic mother.
oh yeah,
and they would be married for 30 years.
Yeah, and it was
That was like normal.
They would get into it at holidays. My aunt and my uncle get into holidays all the time. My aunt was a Democrat, and my uncle was a Republican. Every now and then they would get into it. I mean, it wasn't encouraged, but it would happen, and they would get into it sometimes. And it was
They didn't get divorced over it.
no, they didn't get divorced over it. I mean, sometimes that balances people out. I don't know.
That's really the point, is that's what I ultimately seek, which has always been my message, and I feel like it's just been completely lost. Like, the reason I'm hell-bent on taking down the entirety of the DFL, I want the whole fucking thing to be just dissolved. Like, burn the whole fucking DFL to the ground, because as long as the DFL continues to operate the way they do, which, for people that don't know what the DFL, it's the Democratic Farmers and Laborers Party. It's basically Minnesota's Democratic Party. As long as they continue to be the party they are, the Republican Party is just going to continue to gain more and more momentum, and eventually will end up completely the wrong way. I want balance. I want a healthy representation of both sides, everybody involved, but everybody's got to be reasonable.
Dude.
The problem is that left in Minnesota, the DFL
It's so corrupt.
becomes unreasonable.
No, listen, in Illinois, the Democrats have always been in power, and it's the most corrupt state in the country.
It is definitely up there. It's got to be
Okay.
them in New York.
Yeah,
right?
dude, and the Democrats have been in power there the whole time.
It's got to be, yeah, exactly, and that's the
Come on,
fucked up
man.
part,
Come
right?
on, listen.
Yeah, New York, Chicago, LA.
I'm not coming up with formulas or charts here. I'm saying they've been in power the whole time, and these are the most corrupt places in the country. Okay? DC,
Yeah.
same deal. The Democrats are in power. It's the
That's
most
exactly
corrupt
the
place
point,
ever. So listen, this is not an agree. Oh, I don't, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's proof in the pudding.
That's what do you mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. That's you know how dumb you sound if you want to dispute anything I'm saying.
Will you do me a favor
It's
and open that curtain back up, please?
That is the simplest way you can put it. The Republicans
you,
have
sir.
never been in power in any of those cities, and they're the most corrupt places in the country, and always have been.
Yeah, and exactly, and greatest gun violence.
No, so there you
right?
go. So there you go. I rest my case.
And Chicago being a mostly Democratic-run state and city for as long as we've been alive,
Yeah.
still has, for all intents and purposes, segregation.
So yeah, Blagojevich sold Obama's Senate seat on wiretap.
Yep, that's why he did jail time, right?
Do you think he was a Republican? No.
Talk about the segregation down there.
Whoa, when I
Has
was
that finally actually gone away, or is that
Oh, it's
still?
way better than it was when I was growing up. Like
But
that, they've made
there-
improvements on it. Yeah,
for a
the
long
projects,
time,
dude,
it was real though, right?
Oh, absolutely. How those housing projects were terrible.
It's still not as bad as DC, but like it's pretty fucking.
When I
bad.
was growing up, dude, the housing projects were terrible. The Cabrini Green and the Robert Townsend projects, like you could not go in there if you were white. If you had no business going in there, you just shouldn't go in there. But I mean, it was awful. Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, there's 3 people in there, and I mean, the accommodations were awful. I mean, it makes the Riverside look nice-ish. I mean, Riverside's a shithole.
It's gotten bad.
Riverside's a shithole, but I mean, it was like
It was always a shithole.
the
The moment that fucking building went up,
Yeah.
it made that part of downtown look like a shithole.
yeah, it was just
That brutal. It's called brutal. The style of architecture. It's called brutal.
it is brutal.
Yeah, look up brutal architecture.
Now I believe Cabrini Green. I believe that they've gentrified it. I think that they made it into like
Yeah,
nicer places.
yeah, brutalism architecture. Yep. Now
the
look up.
fuck?
Now type in the word Minneapolis, and you'll find the stacks.
Why would somebody?
Yep, there's the stacks. Third one. Actually, it's literally all 3 of them. All 3 of those first photos are the stacks. Yep, that's called brutalism architecture.
That's
And
just
some
brutalist
people think it's
utopia,
cool,
huh?
but yeah, it's horrible. It looks like
Dude, it
something
looks
out of
like
the Hunger Games. It looks like
Yeah, man.
fascism.
It looks like a place that's ready for a takeover.
It looks like a communist dystopia.
Look at
Yeah,
that place, man.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. So, but no, let's put that in South Minneapolis, and then throw all the Somali. So here, check this out.
That's awful.
So then we throw all the Somalians
Oh, okay.
there.
That's really
And guess
good.
what happened? Guess the deal. Here's the best accusation about Elon Musk.
Brutalist architecture in the Soviet Union. You know,
Yep.
someone kill me right now.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, I'll just go kill
See,
myself
you
right
guys
now.
think I make this shit up. You guys think I'm being paranoid. You guys think I'm worried
That
about it.
I would kill
No,
I would
I'm-
absolutely kill myself.
Dude, you guys don't understand how serious this is. That's what's happening. There you go, right there. To
You
the
gotta
left,
be kidding me.
to the
Come
left.
on.
That's,
Look at-
that's the stacks right there. That's the Minneapolis stacks right there. That's it. That's literally in the USSR. But that's the fucking stacks, bro. Like if you put that in South Minneapolis, you don't know that. You don't know that from the stacks.
I mean, it's just bad. It's all bad.
And I'm paranoid about socialism. My fucking ass. Now check this out. Here's the best one. Ilhan Omar, allegedly, her father was, I believe, a general
Over there, yeah.
in the Somalian army.
Yeah, they got chased out of there.
They were socialist dictators.
Yeah, they got chased out of there.
They weren't refugees or asylum
No.
seekers.
No.
They got overthrown.
Yeah, they got chased out of there, yeah. For the last
and then
people.
this bitch comes here and
Yeah.
starts preaching socialism, and we
Right.
wonder why everything's going tits up.
Well, right. That's right. Yeah, man.
Bro,
I mean, that's the same as fucking
Bro.
what's her nuts? Kamala Harris. Her dad had ties to teaching that shit in college. And he taught fucking Marxism. Oh no, you're conspiracy theorist. You don't know. That's what he did.
why is it that every single
what the
one
fuck?
of these
It's like-
Democratic leaders have weird ties to socialism?
Because that's what the goal is.
Tim Walz went to Hong Kong.
Because the ultimate goal is
and
to
loved
fucking
the Chinese.
The ultimate
government.
goal is to collapse the currency and turn this into a socialist, fucking communist, collapse the American currency. It's not that so that you and I can have have any type of say.
Do you think they really think it'll usher in a utopia, or do you think they're
Fuck no.
evil and they're
evil.
trying to
evil.
destroy everything?
They're evil. It's to have a one world currency. It's to devalue the American currency, lump us in with everything else, whatever, and then just have a one world government. It's part of a part of a just unitarian communist fucking one global government.
One unified
Yes.
digital currency
Correct.
that can't be weighed against gold or anything else.
Correct. And under the guise of it's good for everybody. We'll take care of you.
Just a bunch of fictitious ones and zeros.
Correct. We'll take care of everything.
They're just going to be called credits,
Yes.
like every fucking futuristic
Correct.
dystopia movie.
Correct. Exactly.
It's 200 credits.
Before you know it, you're on a feeding tube or whatever, and just
200 credits, and it goes into your wristband.
Yep.
And we're all competing for something that doesn't exist.
right, whatever. It's just that's what I think. And
I want to be a mercenary.
They've
in that
been bought
world.
off. They've been bought off.
I want to kill people for money
Right.
in that
They've
world.
been bought off. Right.
In that world,
Yeah.
just hire me to kill people. I want to
Yeah,
do
that's
something.
what I'm saying.
and
Is,
get
yeah,
paid.
what I'm saying is that I'm anti that. Right. I'm anti those guys. I ain't going down like that. No way. I see that coming from a mile away with those motherfuckers. Okay. So whatever the opposite of that is, that's how I'm going, and I'm viewing the world as such as of right now. That's how I view it. And so if I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong, but I'm watching that like that. I don't trust those motherfuckers, dude. And why would I? What the fuck have any of them done, and what track record do they have to show me any type of trust, right? All they've done is lied.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
The GOP lies.
Of course they do.
But
Yeah,
dude,
they
the
not like
DNC
that, though.
The DNC is so bad at
It's- yeah.
lying, and they do so much of it.
The GOP doesn't claim to be the good guy. That, to me, is the difference.
Right.
That's the difference, okay? Sometimes they flat out say they're the good guy. And I'm okay with that,
Will you go
man.
grab me another 6
I'm okay with that, okay? Sometimes it takes
Same place they were last
We
time.
said this, and this is something that we talked about, is it takes a dirty man to do a dirty job, right?
Exactly,
And I
right?
said, I go, listen, I'm not trying to make a judge on someone's fucking character to do dirty, sleazy fucking jobs. I want somebody who can do the job, okay?
Here's a great example of this. Again, a conversation I had online, so I'm not calling anybody out. We're not airing any dirt here. This happened online. This was all in public. Give me that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. So Lance Reed was talking about something, right? Lance Reed, one of the best human
Yeah, no, I love
beings.
Lance. Yeah, I love
Dude,
Lance, yeah.
Great human being. So my comment was, dude, you're such a good guy. He's also a nurse, right? So it's in his nature to be compassionate, caring, nurturing, give a fuck, right? I was like, you're not a guy who's even wired to understand the idea of a general who knowingly sends 20 guys in to die on a battlefront to create a distraction.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
we can take this other spot over here. I'm not saying that this is not an argument of right or wrong. What I'm saying is there's certain people who simply are incapable of, because of their wiring and their DNA and their character. And this means they're good people. This is not despair. I'm not talking shit.
No, I mean,
But it's not possible for them to even understand the idea of some of these barbaric things.
that may be true or not.
So this is my point. A guy like Lance will never even be able to understand what you're saying because a guy like him is going to go, no, I want a good person to lead the country. What you're saying is the leader of our country kind of needs to be a gangster, and the good guy is going to get beat up in a room full of gangsters. Because we're not electing Jesus.
Well, I'm saying that, and I'm also saying that my life experience, okay, just up to this point right now, is when somebody says that they're a good guy, I don't believe them. Okay? Period. And I strongly suggest people to follow the same advice, right? People are full of shit.
If other people say somebody's a good guy, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, but if somebody comes in saying, like, putting on the white hat themselves, saying they're going to do such a good job, they don't, okay? And that's just my life experience. If you want to believe them, right, you're setting yourself up to be gullible. That's all that I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that anybody's gullible, okay? I'm saying that by my life experience, that's what I have seen, okay? Now, Lance is a sweetheart. He's a great dude. I love all those guys, right? And I love a lot of people. Now, I also know that I'm in the minority with some of my views, but I walk a line where I get along with people on both sides. A lot of people I know are very liberal, right? But I think, here's what I sense. A lot of people are, when we get into this, I think we're getting to the point to where maybe they're starting to realize that who they voted for isn't who they should be voting for.
Or they're doubling down.
Or they're doubling down.
Yeah.
But what nobody...
Or sticking their heads in the sand. Yep.
Yeah, nobody wants to, though, be just yelled at and told that they're an idiot. Okay? Now, that is what I do know, okay? And so there's ways to really go about this if we really want to get on the same page of really what's going on, what's happened, okay? And getting into the guts of the political system and the other side. Because here's the thing. Oh, well, yeah, Trump's a fucking an asshole and unethical. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, give me a little bit more of him in the vocals. Just a context.
It's not what we're talking about, okay? If we want to quickly glaze over that, yeah, I agree with you. He's a fucking piece of shit. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We'll get to that later. Okay, we'll get to that later. That's fine. But right now, we're talking about the other side of the party, okay? And we're going to get into this one.
Yeah, we can have a whole conversation about Trump. But let's just talk about this
Correct.
right now.
We're going to dissect this whole fucking thing.
No deflecting.
Okay? No deflecting, no nothing. No freaking out. No calling me, no nothing, no nothing. Okay, you go call me anything you want. Get it out the table now, and I'm going to deflect out. I'm going to get out. We're going to dissect it, and you're wrong, okay? Get it all out the way. I know you're angry, right? Yep. And we're going to fucking do this shit. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to find out here is that people, and this is a universal statement, people don't want their structure collapsed, okay? Because when one thing starts to collapse, the next domino falls. And then all of a sudden, you don't have an identity. All that what you've been sold is bullshit, right? Yep. And before you know it, fucking, we're talking about some things that you are not comfortable talking about, right? And that's what you're afraid of. Exactly. You're not afraid of fucking, that's why you're calling me a Nazi, because you thought that would stop and shut me up. But guess what? It didn't. It didn't at all, because there's more behind this than the fucking Democrats and the Republicans, and you need to wake the fuck up.
I think there's also a superiority complex that comes with it. I think when you call somebody a Nazi or a bigot or a xenophobe, you're taking everything that they say and believe in, and you're lessering them.
Oh, totally.
You're putting them below you. And so as long as they are xenophobic, you don't have to think about or reflect or be better in your own self at all.
Right.
Because as long as you're just not that.
Yep.
So every time somebody
insulting somebody too. That's great.
Exactly.
Just go insult somebody when you have an art conversation.
Right. But specifically these words, right? Yep. The Nazi, the bigot, the homophobe, the transphobe. When you do this, you're putting somebody below you, especially when they use this line, you're on the wrong side of history, as if these people can foresee the future. So what bothers me is what they're doing is they're not confronting any of the inadequacies of their own opinions. What they're doing is they're just immediately putting you on a rung below them. So as long as they're not that thing, they're good.
Right.
I'm good. The problem is that thing changes by the week with the Democrats right now. This week it's this. Next week it's that. The thing I've always respected about the Republicans, before you or anybody else our age became Republicans, the thing, even going back to when I was a teenager, is I always knew exactly where they stood on every issue as it came up, regardless of they said anything. So this thing happens, and I go, well, I bet you this is how the Republicans handled it. Every time, it's always that.
It's very consistent. It's
principles.
It's not that complicated.
Whether I agree with those principles or not, they're built on a foundation that is solid. Whereas the Democrats, their principles aren't real. They have feelings that are based on the wind. and it'll change next week
Right.
and the week after. Suddenly we're this, suddenly we're like, I thought the Democrats weren't anti-Semites. But now suddenly people say Israel doesn't have the right to exist on the left.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like,
and
Elon Omar called them cockroaches. Like, what are we doing?
It's insane. It's insanity. It's total insanity. There's no consistency of anything. Like, make some fucking sense about what the fuck you're
I thought
talking
the
about.
Democrats and the left were anti-violence and anti-terrorism. Suddenly they're defending Palestine as if Palestine is virtuous.
You know what? They can't be. They got to be just fucking offering lip service because the anti-Israel thing's a big thing right now.
And I'm not even talking about the politicians. I'm talking about the voters.
No, I know. It's got to be. They don't even know what they're talking about.
They raped and murdered people at a music festival.
I know. I don't think they know what they're talking about.
They started a war.
People don't.
What are we talking about?
When people open up their mouths about shit like that, they don't. First of all, you better know what you're talking about. Second of all, they don't know what they're talking about, right? And you expect it's a big, fucking huge issue, right? When you're getting into religion and culture and people, and then there's multi-layers of it. You cannot get into that without knowing what you're talking about. And it's just a big. You can't. People clearly say things to try to be on the right side of it, or it's a popularity contest, so to speak, right? And they have no idea how far back this goes, right? How many layers it goes to, how many countries are involved in things, right? And the difference between certain branches of Judaism and certain philosophies of it, right? And certain fucking branches of Islam. They have no fucking idea about this shit at all. And yet they're talking, well, fucking this and fucking. It's like, dude, it's not that simple. This is not that simple.
No, this is nature. So
It's
you're right. You're right
crazy.
on that aspect.
It's fucking crazy.
You're
to me.
right on that aspect, but on the nature aspect, it actually is this simple. You attacked us. We're coming for you.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, there's that. If you're simplifying it down on that, yeah, that's going to go down like that. Yeah,
Every time.
yeah, it's going to go down like that. That's going to go down like that. And when shit's going down like that, what the fuck, you know?
And if you're fighting a
government,
government and you're fighting oppression, then attack the police department, attack the government buildings, attack the FBI of Israel, do that. Don't rape and murder civilians from other countries who happen to be at a music festival.
Listen, here's the thing. Whenever anybody, and I'm talking on any level, wants to get into, well, this was our land. Listen, none of this is anybody's, period. At some point in time, somebody had something before anyone, and at some point in time, something made something, okay? But it was never anybody's. It was something that was here before us, okay? So get over it. This isn't anybody's land. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's not any human being's land. This is the earth, and nobody owns the shit, right? So,
I currently occupy
a space.
this parcel of land.
It's not, this is ours, you took it from us. Well, who the fuck were before we were here, what did you do, right? Like, your hands are clean. You're the only innocent one of everything.
Well, I'll tell you
come
the
on,
thing,
man. Like,
I'm part native. I'm Ojibwe Chippewa. I'm only an eighth, so I'm not much, but I'm enough to care to where I did the research on my people,
sure.
right?
Yep.
Because I'm a very curious person.
Yeah.
So I looked into my native heritage. I looked into my Jewish heritage. I looked into my Hungarian heritage. ... right? Here's the thing, man. Any native land that was conquered by Americans or Spanish people, that land was conquered by natives from other natives.
sure, right.
And those natives, this idea that natives were basically hippies and lived in peace and harmony is the farthest fucking thing from truth. Dude, natives enslaved other natives. They conquered, dominated, raped, pillaged. They did all the things that Rome and Greece and Britain did. Everything you can possibly imagine. The same things we hear about in Africa. It all happened here too. And the difference is technology. The natives lost. My people lost. And my other people conquered. Do I feel bad about it? No. Because this is the world that we live in. If we were chimps, guess what? We would have gotten pushed out by gorillas.
Yeah, but you're the
or tigers.
You're the people across
or
the
jaguars.
motherfucking Red Sea.
It's just so stupid, dude, because this is humanity, man. Like, everything that exists was conquered or taken.
Well, that's the whole. I just think whatever. It's easy for me to say, right? but everybody just needs to ease the fuck up. Like, whatever. Who at the end of the day, okay, everybody's squabbling about some bullshit like that, nothing's going to get solved, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, okay. But the fuck does that solve? You know what I mean?
The Israelis are not colonizers. They were always there. The Jewish people were always in that area, and that is their native land. This would be like the Native Americans rising up and taking Utah, and then people from fucking Wyoming invading and killing people at a music festival.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And
Nobody
then
needs that.
and then those natives from Utah bombing the shit out of those people from Wyoming, and then you go, they're committing genocide. Like, no, they're not. You fucking you fucked those people. Those people rose up, took their shit back, and then you kept fucking with them, and now they're fucking punching you back in the mouth 10 times. Because this is the point. If you punch me in the mouth, there is no law or rule in law or nature that says the only thing I'm allowed to do is punch you in the mouth equally back. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So if I punch you, you punch me. Okay, well then I stab you. Well then you stab me. This is dumb. No, the moment you punch me, I am eliminating the threat from existing again.
Right.
Because I should not be required to put myself in danger of getting a concussion or a broken rib or getting knocked out, hitting my head on the curb, dying, leaving my wife and children with no father. Fuck you. No, we're eliminating the threat. Now extrapolate that to war. So you attack a music festival, and what am I supposed to do?
Well,
walk through your neighborhood arresting people?
So,
get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about,
When that happened, I mean, I don't really care what side of the belief system about the territory anybody believes in. When that happened, you cannot invade a sovereign country, right? Regardless of what your belief system is about Israel, it's a sovereign country. You cannot invade a sovereign country and not expect dire consequences.
Exactly.
Period.com.
Exactly.
Like that right there, it should be the end of the discussion. Whatever happens after that because of that incident, the rules are off the table. Okay?
Exactly.
And I think that's I don't think anybody should argue that.
It was one thing when terrorists attacked the World Trade Center and then they went and hid in multiple countries.
If that happened here, from anybody, I would sign off on. My view would be we'd go until that place is exterminated off the map.
This is my point.
Period. Like that would be it. You know,
that's what I would want. If my child was at that music festival, I would personally have tried to join the Israeli army.
Sure. Well, right. Sure.
And gone and got my kid out of one of those tunnels.
Yeah.
And if they wouldn't have taken me, then I would have sold this house, taken whatever money I can.
Right.
Bought a tiny group of mercenaries, and me and my inexperienced ass would go over there and get shot trying to save my daughter.
Yeah, trying to go over there.
There's a 0% chance I'm gonna be like, well, let's negotiate let's try to figure out a way to get both sides. Fuck you. You raped my daughter. I know, she's alive in a tunnel.
Right.
I'm coming for you, and if you don't give me her body, if you don't give her to me alive, I should say,
I'm coming for you.
I'm not coming for you. I'm coming for everyone you love and care about.
Right.
Like this is how, dude, we're animals. So my whole point is there are no good guys in war. I'm not saying the Jews are the good guys. I'm not saying Israel is the good guys.
It's just
what I'm saying is there's no good way to do this, man.
No, there's no good way to do any of it.
And if you do think Israel is doing X, Y, and Z, then tell me what they should be doing. That's what I want to hear.
Look,
tell me what they should be doing and how they should have handled this.
Yeah.
Because no one has done that. No one has suggested what they should have done. Everyone's just criticizing what they do.
Well, right.
What they do.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I
boop,
think
beep, boop, beep.
I try to keep my opinions about global affairs more towards the economic side of things and way on the military side of shit. It's like, hey, that is
war makes money.
It's way out of my pay grade.
War makes a lot of money.
It does make a lot of money. It does make a lot of money, right? It does make a lot of money, but I have no control over that. At the end of the day, right? I have no fucking control over that shit. Very little. You know what I'm saying? If there's mineral rights or whatever's going on somewhere and some place is going to get invaded for whatever reason, at the end of the day, I have very little control over that. I can, however, be upset and be vocal about the markets and how we get played as Social Security numbers in the market, right? And our ignorance gets played against us. I can be vocal about that, right? And how the wealthy use that. Like, there is a separate side of things, right? There's two sides of it. But if some place is going to invade somewhere, like, we're totally used as cattle, as debt slaves in that way. Right, and so
the young men are.
Yeah,
you and I aren't.
Yeah,
we're old now.
Well, right, exactly.
We're not going to war unless we're fucking living in Russia.
Right.
If we're in Russia, we're getting drafted right now, going to Ukraine.
Oh yeah, they'll use us until we can't hold a rifle over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's getting rough.
See what they were doing with the North Koreans? When they're like, oh yeah, they're just throwing those guys right up in the front lines. 5,000 North Koreans.
Dude,
dead.
pull that up. Pull that up. There's not only
Just
been
wild.
North Koreans, but
just mowing them down.
There's
mowing them down.
But there's not just North Koreans. There's other governments. I think the Chinese officially sent in troops as well.
I mean, the North
See if you
Korean,
can find
like,
that, Will.
and like they were
Foreign troops in Ukraine.
not trained at all, and they were just getting crushed.
Yeah,
just like.
Yeah, there was something going
bad.
around on Twitter that these North Korean troops were tweeting that they got brought there. And I'm paraphrasing all of this because I heard about this on a very credible podcast that deals with national intelligence. But you got to be careful with that shit, right? Because it could be propaganda. But
sure.
basically, what I distilled was there was verified North Korean troops and other, including Chinese troops, on the front lines who had not only been murdered, but before they were murdered and things were scrubbed, these guys were sending out tweets and text messages saying that we thought we were coming here for like
or cake and pie.
Basic, yeah. I don't even know. I'm not a vet, so I don't know the word I'm looking for, the phrase I'm looking for, but they thought they were coming here for one thing, and they basically like were thrown into a bloodbath. Yeah.
No way. Really?
Yeah, foreign troops actively involved. We're not talking about the Foreign Legion, the International Legion. We're not talking about that. No. Keep searching.
Wow.
I'm talking about on the other side. But yeah, like there was tweets that got deleted by the Chinese government and shit. And maybe they're not tweets. Maybe they're fucking what their version of Twitter is.
They're just throwing. Wow, that war is still going on. That's right. What is going on in that war?
Well, it's switching to a lot of drone warfare now.
Because they're running out of bodies.
Yeah, and it's like swarms of bees.
Really?
A lot of little cheap low tech drones and just volume. Just send as many.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. See if you can pull that up too, Will. Pull this up first. Warfare in Ukraine evolving into
what the
drones
hell?
Or something like that, and you'll find like you might find an article or something that talks about like I don't remember what they called it, but
they're just it's a war of attrition at this point.
Yeah,
one
but
side's just gonna collapse.
Yep. And Ukraine's winning right now because they're taking like the chips and the brains from American stuff. But they're putting them on the cheaply manufactured Eastern European shit that they've also smuggled in from Russia.
Okay.
And so they're kind of getting the best of both worlds. So basically, Ukraine is able to put up like
this is wild.
A bunch of drones that cost like, I don't know, $15,000 a piece.
Okay.
Instead of
$150,000
a
with
piece.
The capabilities of the 151 though.
No, but so they don't have the like firepower capability, but they have the brain capability.
Yeah.
So
they can
radar.
They can radar it. They can do that type of stuff.
Yeah, and they can like harmonize together.
Yeah.
So when a missile is shot at them, they can spread out.
Yeah. They can do the Lady Gaga Super Bowl show.
It's like a shotgun. It's like a shotgun with a bunch of little pellets instead of a 45.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, so Ukraine. Okay, I'll read this out loud for the podcast. So Ukraine drone bees refers to Ukraine's innovative use of drone swarms, often resembling buzzing bees or hornets, like wild hornets, for attack, surveillance, and mine clearance, featuring featuring autonomous capabilities and coordinated attacks against Russia with Operation Spiderweb, highlighting large-scale drone strikes and Dude, I'm telling you, dude. We're
Creating
watching
impacts like dronophobia among soldiers. I guess, yeah. I mean, you went out.
So they start hearing dude, here's how bad it is. What the dronophobia is. So the drones give off a hum, a buzz.
Yeah.
The literal propellers. You hear it coming.
Yeah.
So then what's happening is these guys are starting to hear phantom.
Yeah.
Like they think they hear
They
it.
think they hear it, and then they dive.
And it might just be like, so if you hear cicadas, if you hear the hum from the fucking electrical towers, dude, a lot of them are on the same frequencies. It sounds the same. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Sometimes they act together, sometimes led by a queen drone.
Correct.
Overwhelming
Yep.
defense is like an actual swarm.
Yep.
Wow, what a trip.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so we're watching the evolution of war in real time, bro, dude. Yeah,
Man,
dude.
I don't know about this, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's fucking super fun. If you're into this shit, it's super fun.
It's tripping me out is what it's doing right now.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
Yeesh.
This has already been in movies for 20 years.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean,
This
I
is
totally believe
idea,
that.
This is that idea that science is often influenced directly by science fiction.
Sure.
So some scientist read something in a book and
Yep.
said, I want to do that in real life, and then made it happen.
Or it's predictive programming.
Or saw something in a fucking movie
Sure.
when he was a little kid and said, why can't we do that in real life?
They've had it for this whole time.
I mean, very possible.
And then they're conditioning us then now to accept it. You know what I mean? So they put it in the movie. That's
Yeah.
I believe that happens a lot. Is they show it to us, and then now all of a sudden it's here, and it's like, oh wow, remember that? Now it's
on
not.
a fun level, let's go fun with this.
Oh.
Let's go fun with this. So I think it's in Korea. I don't know where it is. It's overseas though. Drug dealers started using drones to deliver drugs.
Yeah.
So then cops started using drones to catch those drones. So then the drug dealers started using nets from guns
Yeah.
to catch the cop drones.
Okay.
And then cops started using nets to catch the drug dealers' drones.
That sounds like a fun game.
That was the tweet. The tweet was I think it said the Korean police said we haven't had this much fun in years.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like kind of a fun.
It
I
turned
gotcha.
into a video game.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, nobody's dying, dude.
Yeah,
We're just like
it's
who's-
like
who can
actually
play
a
the
game of
better
cops and
game.
robbers,
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
like-
yeah, like little kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So in many ways, technology is going to save us. These drones are going to save. Well, by the way, we're fighting wars. We're also preventing death in gun violence in fighting drugs. Like
Well,
it's,
yeah, I mean,
like everything is always like this. This is
Right.
my whole point to this. Everything is always like this, dude. Like we figure out a way to risk less lives,
Right.
But that thing can take more lives,
Right.
But it risks less in the cost of doing battle,
you
right?
know, it's interesting. A bunch of the fucking. I don't know if you call it new age, but like the ET stuff I get into, right?
Yeah, dude.
There's on some of the timelines with that some of the people believe that we come from. There's like electric wars and there's drone wars that they talk about up in the Orion constellation that they talk about happened thousands of years ago, right? Up there that have affected what's happened now, right? But that shit like that's already happened a long time ago, right? That they've happened in black holes, and it's just like shit that's already gone down, and then it collapses, right? Or that it's been ongoing for quite some time, and then it just funnels in down to now, right? To where time isn't what we think it is, type of thing, right? It's just we happen to be at a certain point of our evolution, right? But that like human beings have been a piece of something for a long fucking time, going up and down and in these weird dimensional shifts. But that there's been drone wars that have gone on for like tens of thousands of fucking years up in Orion that they talk about. A lot of people believe it.
Have you ever heard of the you know that Tool song 46 and 2?
Oh yeah, yep.
Do you know about that? Do you know what that song's about?
I don't know exactly what it's about. No.
Will, I've shown you this, right? Oh, will you pull up the video? Don't play the song because we'll get copyrighted, but put the video in the background. So basically the idea is this, right? So like there's a primitive version of human that was like 42 and 2. And it's talking about the chromosomes.
Yep.
And the idea is that we were able to think as like a collective hive mind.
Sure.
But because people aren't able to, so we're closer to chimps or dolphins or ants, right? Like a primitive version of humans. But because you're not able to think as an individual, there's no creativity. There's no innovation.
Right.
Then we evolved to this stage where we're at now, which is 44 and 2, right?
Sure.
And the idea is that we're very aware of the individual, which creates this incredible amount of innovation and creativity, music, science, technology, but we've lost the ability to be a part of a hive and the greater good. And so 46 and 2 is and by the way, the 42 and 2, they think there might be one or two of these versions of humans still alive, like these uncontacted tribes of the Amazon or Africa or Sentinel Island, right? Probably not Sentinel Island, but you guys get the point. And the idea of 46 and 2, this is a different video.
This is sweet, though.
The one I'm talking about has the Freudian shit in it, but that's fine. You can play this in the background. It doesn't matter. But the idea of 46 and 2 is the next stage of human evolution where we have both.
Okay.
Where we have the individual ability for somebody to step outside of the box, think creatively.
Yeah.
But we still have that connection to the overall group.
Yeah.
And as an individual, we have the ability to choose to sacrifice for the greater good.
Sure.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. But the idea of this also goes through the idea or the exploration of the idea of like the shadow self.
Yeah. Carl
like,
Jung.
Exactly. Pull that one up. Pull the one where it's 46 and 2 with the Carl Jung references. So I'll pull this up now, and then once you see the screenshot, you can go do this in your own time.
Yeah, sweet. I kind of figured that if there was a Carl Jung tie to it, because
that's the one right there.
I like Carl Jung a lot.
It's actually at the top because that's a mix. It's the first. Go all the way to the top.
Carl Jung has helped me very much.
Go to the top. It's that one. Yeah, so we're doing it on mute because I don't want to get copy stricken. Yeah, I don't know how you would say that. But anyways, yeah, see, it brings you through like the lyrics and like what that specific part of that verse is referenced to, and then it brings up all of this shit, dude. So next time you guys do mushrooms, definitely listen to this song while watching this video, and then finish your mushroom trip, and it'll definitely bring you to some different versions of what you think self is.
Yeah.
It really goes through the gamut, dude. Like Maynard James Keenan is a different level of genius.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude.
It's
really fun, man. Yeah, so they're talking about the shadow self and all that shit, and like understanding the evil that lies within all of us. Again, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is like anybody is capable of any of these evils, and if you don't know the evil within you, you can't keep it at bay, and you can't understand your own self if you don't acknowledge that there's a horrible version of you.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How much shadow work have you done?
A lot. Oh, yeah, a lot. I mean, I have a belief that the reason that I'm up here and the reason that I grew up in a very normal situation, you know, and I'm a recovered fucking needle addict, you know, meth addict, and move up here and see, I mean, I've been through a lot of fucked up shit, you know, and put myself through that, you know, almost voluntarily. There's no need.
You can kill this.
There's
one.
no need for any of it, really, if you really want to look at it, And so a lot of it's been self-inflicted, and I think it's for that very reason, right? Is to almost know my enemy of the dark side, and because you have to know it, and I'm not afraid of it at all, but I know it exists, and I know what I'm capable of, right? So it can be kept at bay, but then I also know what people are capable of, right? In general. And I think that at this point, one thing is very clear. When somebody is very indignant about something, it's because they haven't done shadow work. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Because they're afraid of it. And that's understandable. That's totally fine. But you got to look. You got to go down in the dark. Yeah. You got to go down the hole, man. And don't be a bitch. You can't be a bitch about it, right? Yep. That's just that. And it's not
what do you, here's a great example. So I explain every once in a while I'll get drunk with somebody or do mushrooms with somebody, and we'll have a deep conversation about like what the zombie apocalypse would actually be like. And I start getting into what it would take to survive. And I can't tell you how often I've heard this phrase as a response from the other person. I don't know if I want to live in a world like that. I might just kill myself.
Yeah, that would
fine. I understand that's what you're saying now. However, when the actual feeling of hunger kicks in, bro, you don't know you.
Right.
You don't even know the depths you will go to. You think you'd rather do that because you're speaking from a period of your belly's full.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Like you have water in your system. That sounds like it sucks. But trust me, the instinct to survive, it is something that honestly, I think the only people who can really speak to this, unless you've been in a survival like camping situation, without doing shadow work.
Right.
Without doing shadow work, I think the only way you could possibly experience this is through like camping survival situations, unless, and this is what I was trying to say, the only people I've heard talk about this are soldiers. Yeah. What you are willing to do and go through. Oh, and Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. I mean,
Holocaust survivors. The stories I've heard from Holocaust survivors, what you're willing to do to stay alive when real hunger kicks in. Like, it's kind of wild, dude.
It's the concept of,
including creativity, by the way. I'm not just talking doing weird, vile shit.
No.
I'm saying the depths of your intelligence, creativity, and survival instincts will blow your own mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you are so much more capable and powerful than you realize you are.
Correct.
And those things won't be tempted until
and the situation,
you think you're going to die.
The situation moves. You can move the situation, too, is what you'll realize, right? Is that you're not a prisoner to a fucking situation if you move it. If you're moving, right? And it's a puzzle. Everything's a puzzle at a certain point. Sure, so you can't be intimidated by your fucking surroundings, right? And so, it changed. Okay, so you have to fucking figure it out. And there's always, the environment's going to be there no matter what. It's here right now, right? And we get dropped into it when we were born. So if that were to happen, there's going to be a solution, right? To it. Somebody figured it out at some point in time to be on top of. It's a fresh start. That's the way that I would look at it. Okay.
Right.
At that point. Okay. There's no other choice.
Right.
To it. What are you going to do? Give up? Those are the people that you automatically have an advantage over. Okay. At that point. Right.
Exactly.
So it's not what it just is what it is. Right. You got to move. Life is motion. Right now we've been stuck. I almost look at it as an opportunity.
Like we're in a stagnant
pool.
Dude,
totally. For our class of people, we're stuck in the muck, dude. We're at the bottom level, right? A reset gives us, and it's fucking open season. You know what I'm saying? Come on, okay, now there's a level playing field to a degree, right? For the resources. I'm serious. Like, the rules can get reset, okay? That's intriguing to me. I'm just saying, I'm still a life form. I can still connect with things, right? Whatever. Let's fucking see how this shakes out. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting way of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think people look at it like that, right? Who's to say it's going to be worse? Who's to say there has to be a bunch of violence? Now, people assume that because it's been programmed into our head to not look at it as a possible positive. That's the way that I see it, right? They don't want us looking at it as a possible positive. They want us fucking stuck in, this is, gotta be better. It's gonna be war. Well, what if we're just like, dude, we can just fucking hang out and fuck these people? You know what I mean? Nobody ever looks at that as an option. I'm not saying it would happen, okay? But it's been so programmed into our fucking head, nobody ever fucking even thinks that it's an option. That's asinine. That's asinine. We've been programmed. That's just one incident, okay? People need to start looking at it like that. I'm just saying. So before people start getting angry at each other, start understanding you've been programmed, okay? There are options to get along with each other. We've been programmed about everything.
Yeah, I think that's super easy to understand what you're saying if you just think about like your neighbors, your friends, and family.
I know I know
It gets hard to extrapolate that when you start thinking about, if you're like a hardcore American Republican and you start thinking about the Chinese Communist government. It's hard to do that.
It's very difficult to do a lot of it, but I'm just saying it's imperative that people start looking at it. Everything on the alternative of system control is like fear message to us, right? Like it's going to be awful, right?
Until it's real, though, dude. And that's the thing, man. Until there's genuinely a real enemy that wants what you have, and they're going to come take it, and they're going to kill you when they do it.
Sure.
And there is still plenty of those guys.
There's a lot of those guys. There's a lot of those guys.
A lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
In fact, I would argue it's most people.
There's a lot of them, sure.
I would say that good, peaceful people are the minority.
I mean,
I'd say it's 40 to 45% of people are good and peaceful.
We've been programmed that way too.
You think so? You think it's programming and,
it's all
not
programming.
nature?
I think everything's programming. Okay, when they
how
say,
much of it is nature versus nurture? Because nurture is programming.
It's nurture. It's nurture. That's my answer on that one. And here's why. When they say that you only use 10% of your brain and that you don't use 90% of your brain, here's what they really mean. This is an instance of them lying. The 10% of your brain is your conscious mind.
Will, pull that curtain up, and I get a piss too. Keep going. I can hear you.
The 10% of your brain is your conscious mind. Okay, the 90% is your subconscious, making decisions for you that they program you at your very early ages. I believe it's from 2 or 3 to 10, right? In order to gain control of that 90%, it's not this mysterious part of our brain that, can you imagine what would happen if we had 100% of our brain and, we would be these superhumans? That's not, okay, while that is true, how to access that is to deprogram the subconscious mind that they have programmed with their advertising, their movies, their harmless media, whatever they're feeding us, their propaganda into our subconscious, right? The Stepford wife mentality of gender roles at the time, how we were brought up in Gen X, right? All of these things are programming, okay? There's a good guy role, there's a bad guy role. It's all programming. And when you strip that away, you realize how much you've been taught about how humans are supposed to behave as opposed to how you view the world from your own experience. Okay? And that is very key. When you strip that away, you understand that the vast, vast majority of what you believe you know is a bunch of bullshit. Because it's been something that has been told to you that defies what your experience has been.
Right.
And that is that 90%. So that is you getting more control of your brain, theoretically speaking. Also, that contributes to a religious speak of it where you're supposed to give 10% to the church. That's what they're referring to. But what the church has done in a corrupt way is twist that into actual money. But
you owe me money.
Yes, but that's not what actually the spiritualists were referring to.
Right.
They're referring to giving up your carnal mind and going into your subconscious.
And giving your best 10%.
Correct. Giving up your carnal mind to get into your spiritual. Giving up your 10% base desires, right, that you make your decisions with.
And exchanging that for your best.
For your spiritual.
10% conscious spiritual.
Correct.
Mind.
Getting rid of the base, I want to fuck this shit, right?
Which is about making a choice instead of acting out of need.
What they did, what the church did, and what Rome did was they preyed on everybody's ignorance, dipshits, and said, if you don't give me 10% of your income, you're not getting into heaven.
That's why good churches nowadays, good Christian churches in America, I can't speak for the world, but good Christian churches in America, that hat will go around and they'll tell you, if you can't afford, don't donate.
It's just
only
wild.
give what you can. If you can only afford $1, give us $1.
It's wild. Everything tracks to where, like, the more and more you look at it, right? The whole concept of Jesus.
But I just want to really hammer that for a second.
Yeah.
Like, the good churches do not do that guilt trip bullshit, you guys. If you go to a church and they're guilt tripping you and they're saying you need to put this first and then your bills second and your survival second, that's a corrupt church.
It's a totally corrupt church.
That's a totally
The
corrupt
concept
church.
of money isn't at all what the core of being a Christian is about. I mean, it's not at all. The concept of money has nothing to do with any of that.
Correct.
So
What-
it
what
shouldn't
the
even,
whole point of
come
tithing-
up.
The whole point of tithing was you have enough, give 10% to God, but don't give God your fucking.
It's a
your
spiritual. It's a
deformed-
spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing.
But the literal analogy was don't give God your deformed calves because you got to give 10%. Give God your best 10% because you have enough. That was the point.
I mean,
you have enough. You have enough. If you're fighting for survival, God's not asking you to fucking miss your rent. God's not asking you to skip groceries.
Yeah, and nobody's not getting into heaven if you don't do something.
No version of the Christian God is asking you to actually do those things in this modern world where we live in literal abundance. If you're doing that, it's because you've been duped by a very shady wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, it's very wild. But I mean, a lot of people really buy
The
into
Joel
that.
Osteens of the world probably aren't going to heaven.
Yeah, it's really interesting. A lot of people still buy into that whole bit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I have a very big philosophical and I have a very big emotional problem with televangelists.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Like when I watch late night televangelists
Yeah.
or any national Christian broadcast, I immediately get a sinking feeling that this is a scam.
The Mighty Gemstones was great.
That's a perfect
That was
example.
really
But
good. That was
the
good.
problem I have with this though is it creates this fashion trend of that all Christians are grifters. And that's just the
Right,
farthest
and you don't
thing
want
from the
people
truth.
to think that. Right, exactly.
It's just the farthest thing from the truth.
right, and you know what? And there is you could
The overwhelming amount of Christians are like super normal people. They're fucked up. They
Right.
have problems, but they're trying to do good.
Well, totally.
That's the overwhelming amount of Christians.
They're an easy target from Hollywood.
There's
I mean,
another
it's
group-
always been that way. Christians are an easy target from Hollywood.
Yep.
Christians aren't embraced by Hollywood.
And you
It's
know
never
why?
been that way.
Because the overwhelming
It's never
amount of
been that way.
Christians don't create violence when you criticize them because they
Well,
admit it.
yeah,
'cause
they
it's
don't,
part of the
and it's
teachings,
just-
which is the next tier.
For whatever weird reason, as close as Judaism and Christianity are related in a tree, they don't like each other. Like there's a thing.
Here's the
there's a
beautiful-
thing between it.
Here's
it's like
the beautiful thing about Christianity. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful irony about Christianity. The majority of good Christians are the bottom tier Christians.
Right, exactly.
They're shitty people who are just trying to make a better life
Right.
for themselves, their neighbors, their family, their neighborhood, so on and so forth. Then there's a tier above them, which are actually, there's less of them, and they're actually shittier Christians.
Sure.
No, I'm sorry. They're actually better Christians. But they're probably the last tier of true, real good Christians.
Yeah.
They're an extremely rare population of people who are genuinely gentle, good, saved themselves. They saved themselves. What I
Right.
mean,
They just
like
wanna
they
be
were
good- they just
virgins
wanna be
until
good people and do
They
something.
were virgins until marriage. They're non-violent. They're gentle human beings. They're not pedophiles. They're not running under the fucking cloak.
Right. They're not
Okay?
smoking crack. Right.
Those are probably the rarest. Then there's another group of them on top of that look, seem, act, feel exactly like them.
Yeah.
But those are your televangelists, okay? And I don't
And
think
they're
these,
ready to do something
I
sleazy.
don't think these are good people. I think
No.
most of these are
They're not good
sleazy
people.
con artists.
They're ready to do something sleazy.
Yep.
They're ready to. That's Baby Billy.
And they make a lot of people look bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's there's it was really one of the things that did fuck me up because I was raised Catholic and confirmed Catholic, and I didn't have a bad experience. It never jived with me. I mean, I took some good things out of it, right? But it was very sterile to me. That's the best way of saying it. Okay, off the cuff, sterile. Okay, like just ew, okay, it didn't soak in.
Yeah.
There's no warmth, okay,
Yeah.
at all. I
Doesn't
mean,
feel real.
it was like a nice fucking China pattern that I couldn't touch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want real. I want to feel that sun and like the connection. You know what I'm saying? And I find that in the East. That's just the easiest way of putting it, right?
Yep.
And I do take some, but Christ also studied over in Egypt and India, right?
Yeah.
I like that part of him. That's what I like about it.
Christianity
Yeah.
is not a white
No.
European religion.
No, it's not, and and when you get into that area, they don't want to talk about that,
Right.
Right.
Christianity is in Arabic.
And it's Ethiopian. Okay, it's area that type of stuff, right?
Christianity
there's like
is an Arabic,
anything but white.
Middle Eastern religion.
Yeah.
And Christianity was introduced and spread into Africa
Yeah.
before it was spread into Europe.
Yeah, it's anything but white. And if we're going to get into white beliefs, then I want to get into the Nordic pagan stuff. I mean, that's where I go with the stuff, right? I go all the way. I like going all the way back to Sumerian stuff, number one, then into Jesus, and then the Egyptian stuff.
Can I tell you my final tier of Christians before we move on to that?
Yeah.
So the top of the pyramid for
Yeah.
Christians, the smallest group and the rarest group, but the most powerful group, which is why they're at the top of this proverbial pyramid.
Yeah.
Those are the straight up actual satanic posers, devil worshippers,
Yeah.
con artists, grifters, the pedophiles, the nastiest, everything you think bad about Christians.
Right.
That is the smallest, most powerful group. They just happen to be at the top of the pyramid. The most, if you really want to know a Christian, it's probably your neighbor. It's probably the dude you love the most,
Right.
who doesn't talk about God at
Right.
all.
Right.
He
Sure.
just tries to live his life and borrows tools and helps
Right.
people work
Tries
on
to be a nice,
cars.
tries to be a
and,
nice guy.
you know, if fucking shit goes down, he's there for you. That's your Christian.
Right.
That is your prototypical Christian.
And that makes sense. And that makes sense.
That's your real world, actual
Right.
prototypical Christian. You need fucking brakes.
right. I'll help you.
Bernie was a great Christian. I don't think he believed in God. I don't care. I don't know.
Right.
But Bernie, metaphorically, was more of a Christian than most people, because when Jeremy Blake, he talked about this on this podcast. He's written about it publicly.
Yeah.
I'm not airing dirty laundry.
No.
When Jeremy Blake was unemployed, depressed, going through fucking shit, and needed to fucking get to work, but his car wouldn't start, Bernie paid out of pocket and then went into the garage and put those parts in Jeremy's car so Jeremy could get to work.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's what a real Christian does.
Dude, that's See,
and then they
that's awesome.
also don't do it for adulation or
or public
they do it
adoration.
privately.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Adoration. That's what I was.
That's so awesome, man. I mean, you know what? I did not know Bernie at all, but I know many people who were very close with him and were very affected by that and miss him very much. So that's awesome.
Everybody loves Bernie. Dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never heard one bad thing about that dude, and I know he's very missed. So that's awesome hearing stuff like that, dude. That's great. I love that. They're very hard to find. Very hard to find.
So, going into the white pagan shit.
Yeah.
So my theory on all of this shit
Yeah.
is that they're all just fallen angels. Every single religion who isn't surrounded by the original, this is just my dumb opinion.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not dumb.
So the Abrahamic religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, they all believe in the same God. They just argue about which Messiah is real, if there was a real Messiah.
Sure.
All the other religions, they're on some other shit. And I genuinely believe, whether it's the Roman gods, the Greek gods, the Norwegian gods,
Yep.
I believe those are all literal angels.
Yep.
Or fallen angels.
Yep.
That's what I really
I
genuinely
think that's
believe.
not too far off. I mean, I think that that's not too far off. I think that it's so
They're
a
demigods
version,
or
yeah.
false gods
It's the dark copy. The dark copies of the original.
The upside down.
Yeah, exactly. The upside down. That's why the rules here are upside down. It's the dark copy of the original Source of Light, right? And at some point in time, they, wanted to make their own rules here with this version of humanity. And we are this version of humanity.
And I'll back this up because there's a
And there's different versions of different characters, right?
There's a chapter in Genesis.
They have their own little wars too between each other.
Yeah, and there's this chapter in Genesis where God comes down and finds Adam and Eve, and he goes, "Why are you hiding from me?"
No,
and they say, "Well, it's because we're naked."
Right.
And he goes, "Well, who told you were naked?" And Adam goes, "Well, we just knew we were naked." And then he goes, "You ate from the tree."
Right.
And they admitted yes. And then God turns around and he talks to somebody else.
Yeah.
And he says, and I quote, and I don't know if you can find this, Will. This is absolutely, if you pull out your Bible, if you know your Bible, you can find this in a second.
Yeah.
Real scholars will tell you the exact verse I'm talking about. But for some reason, when you Google search this, you can never find the proper verse. But there's a verse where God turns around and he says, "They are now like us."
Yep.
They now know the difference between good and evil.
Yep. So yeah.
Who the fuck is God talking to?
So here's the theory that I have.
Right? Like, who is this dude talking to?
God
and where did he go? If he transcends space and time, how did he leave and come back and have a problem discovered?
It's the two brothers from Sumerian times is what it is.
So
that's
then,
what it is.
So then we also know this story of about how God struck Lucifer down from heaven with a third of his angels.
Okay, sure.
Right? What is this you have done? Okay, yep. Because you have done this. Yep. Yeah, see if you can find. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, like one
and
of us.
And the Lord God
goodness.
says, "The man has now become like one of us."
Yeah.
Who the fuck is us? Who is us?
It's the Anunnaki.
That means there's other gods.
It's the Anunnaki.
So when you get into real Bible scholaring, okay, I think it's Paul somewhere later in the Bible says, and this quote is very important. He says something to the degree of this. He says, "Do not forget there are still other gods we need to pay homage to."
Yeah.
However, do not forget who reigns most high.
Yes.
And in that quote becomes very important, okay?
Yep.
Because if you study the Nation of Islam, they refer to God as the Most High.
Sure. Okay.
If you study traditional Christianity, they refer to God as the Almighty.
Sure.
Okay? Then there's another part of the Bible that says our God, the Almighty, the Most High, sits in the third heaven. So there's 3 layers of heaven, according to the scripture.
Yep.
Our God sits in the third layer of heaven in the assembly of gods, judging other gods.
Okay.
All of this is in the Christian Bible.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
None of this is removed, even in the King James Version.
Okay. Yep.
It only becomes more clear and obvious when you go back before the King James Version. It becomes way more clear because there was less ambiguity, less translations. King James took some shit out. Which is why a lot of people think King James is a blasphemer and will burn in hell for
he had
all
the
eternity.
demonic book before it.
Yeah, like he changed when God said any man who changes these words will burn in eternal hell.
Cut of it, and the book before he.
But all of this is in there. So the theory is, my theory is, there are indeed other gods.
Sure, of course are.
However, the only one we're actually supposed to worship is this Most High Almighty.
Well, you can worship whatever one you want.
And all these other ones along pay respect.
You can choose whichever one you want. Who's to say whichever's the one's most high?
But the 10 Commandments say, the first commandment says, "I'm a jealous God."
Well, that God is, yeah, sure.
But he's the Almighty God.
That's his version of it. That's what he says.
But if he's the Almighty, then it's the version.
Yeah, but he could be full of shit, though, too.
Unless he's the Almighty.
Or he's wrong, then he's not. And his version of that's wrong, and there's another version of it that you could read elsewhere, too.
Unless he's the Almighty.
That's the one side of the
If
argument.
he is the be-all, end-all, there is no
I
other
don't think
version.
I don't think that's the be-all, end-all. I think there's another version of the story.
I don't think so.
I think so.
And this is what the scriptures say. There is one true creator, and anything that comes other than that, and this is literally the first commandment is, you're worshiping a false idol before me.
I think
it doesn't say, don't ever pay respect to any other god.
I think there's an
What
older
it
version
says
of the
is-
story. I don't think that this version of the Bible is the true. I think the Bible is bullshit.
I mean, there's
I
literally
believe-
no older version than the Ten Commandments.
I
so-
believe no. It all comes from Sumerian tablets and Egyptian commandments. It all comes from older shit.
those would be the fallen angels.
It's a conglomeration. Yeah, but so what I'm saying is that at some point in time, a conflict between those gods that you're talking about occurred, and there was a flip of power, and now this version of history was rewritten, but something else made us in that lineage.
No, God made
that's what
us.
I'm saying. But there's a fight.
There's only one God.
There's a fight over it's a familial thing of things that came here to doctor the DNA of something that was on Earth. That's what I'm saying.
That's possible
And
if you're
so-
going into like the aliens theory,
Yeah.
sure.
So there's a fight.
But there was still in this theory.
yes.
In this theory,
Yep.
those aliens that did all this are just fallen angels, demons, and there's still one ultimate creator that created all of that.
They
And
defected.
allegedly-
They defected from
allegedly-
a plan, so to speak. Yeah.
Allegedly, according to my faith, Jesus is the only true word
Yep.
or path to find the only true original creator. Everything else
Right.
is the aliens, the demons, the fallen angels,
Right.
the Nephilim, the humans,
Oh, right.
the Satan. Name your. That's the whole point to this.
Right,
Is that
right.
like all that shit is real? However, there's only one that reigns again.
Right.
To go back to these original quotes, the way the Christians say the Almighty.
Yep.
The Nation of Islam will say Most High.
Yep.
Right. We're all acknowledging the same God.
Right.
Including the Jews, including the Muslims.
Right.
Everybody is talking about there's one God that did it all.
Right.
But within that same scripture, the Jews, the Christians, all of it talks about other gods.
Yes, they all do.
So the question is, what are those other gods? Are they angels, demons, fallen angels,
Yeah.
That's where it gets
Right.
fucking wonky.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Because then you get into Roman gods, Greek gods,
There's
Norwegian
parallels that are
gods.
there's like these weird fuzzy parallels that are drawn between all the cultures. You can draw them. You know, they kind of represent each other, but they kind of don't. Some of them exactly do. Like the Greeks and the
Yeah,
Roman
they're
gods exactly
parallel.
do.
Yeah.
And then they adopt them.
Some of them literally just, what you're saying, for the listeners that don't know word, some of them literally just renamed the same gods.
But then in other cultures, it's like this fuzzy area, right? Like they would assimilate when they take over the land, right? They'd fight, and then they take one side would win. Okay, simplifying everything, one side would win. And then they'd figure out who they were worshiping. Then they'd realize that who they worshipped shared very similar qualities to this other thing, right? But they were different. Then they would just merge them.
Yep.
Or whatever, and they were just culturally, because they realized that it was the energy source. This is what I gathered out of it: the energy source and what they were doing, what it was doing, was the same fucking thing. It was the same thing. It was the same God that they were worshiping. They just identified it in a little weird, different way. Very odd, but they're the same figures. There's like the same 12 figures.
Right.
They keep showing back up everywhere. That's the ultimate tale. Right?
Do you know a lot about the Nephilim and the fallen angels that bred with humans and created giants?
Yeah, I know a bunch about that. Yeah, I know. The theory that I buy into about it is that there were 200 with the 12 that came here. Right? There were 12 that came here. There were 200. They're Agigi. They were called, and this is in a lost book of Enoch. Right? That is in. You're familiar with the book of Enoch, right?
Yeah, I know it well.
So the Agigi were a slave race, or contractors, you call them, right? Came here
Sure,
with the fallen angels, however you want to come here, right?
Okay.
And to colonize, for this reality, right? And then they take man, right, as their worker race. Okay. The Agigi initially, though, were basically setting up shop. This is my understanding of Book of Enoch, and this is what God professes to Enoch, right? For the record, and the Igigi effectively not only revolted against, the 12, and we're like, this is too much fucking work. They fucked everything in sight. Fucked creatures, fucked women, right? And just got out of control, right? My understanding is that the Igigi were under the command of Marduk, okay? The fucking god known as Marduk, who ran Babylon, okay? Ran the Tower of Babel. Right, this is my understanding of going back to Sumerian times.
To put it into context of what I'm saying, this would be a demigod or a fallen angel who's running this.
And this is the first.
And this is in the Bible. It says God talks about after the Tower of Babel. He talks about putting angels or spirits or holy people or spiritual people. He talks about putting them in control of each nation that he split.
Yep. So these 200 things were, so the 200 Igigi, right, known in Sumerian times, right? In this book of Enoch, they're known as the Watchers, okay? And so I think people get it confused. This is my take on it, and I might get it confused because it's a fucking confusing subject, but there's these 200 Watchers, and they name them, right? They name them by these names, and I think people get them confused as demons, right? And they may very well be demons now, right? But at that time, what they were these subcontractors of these 12 things that were fallen angels, whatever you want to call them, right? But basically these 12 fucking Anunnaki giant things that deviated from and cut themselves off from the original source, right? Whatever you want to call it as, and to exploit this planet, right? And copulated with and just deviated from the laws of fucking the universe, right? And now these 200, when they begged for, in the book of Enoch says they begged for forgiveness, Enoch the scribe, fucking God would let them back in. And so now these demons are the ones that you can ritualize in certain ways and tap into because they are stuck in this realm, right? They're stuck in the 3D realm. They're the ones that can infect you and blah, 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 okay? So that's my understanding of it, right? In the book of Enoch that it displays. That's these Igigi, whatever the fuck they are.
Okay.
Secondary to... but it all stems back to, these Sumerian Enki and Leal, that, give rise to Toth. And, it's this whole offshoot of things that build these pyramids all over the fucking place. And they have these territorial wars, right? That each have their own little area, right? To mine this gold and shit and to exploit the planet. Initially, and the idea is that it relates with the Bible, is that they made us as a slave race so that they didn't have to work, essentially, right? Which ties into the Bible, right? All ties into the Bible. And Enki in the Garden of Eden is the snake, right? And his brother is the god that wants to subject humans to being dumb. And Enki is the one that wants to educate, right? And that's the whole war over it, right? So it's a goes all the way back to...
So the question is, are we telling a technological history of how we got here and our planet being exploited for physical resources to enhance some other alien race? Or is this all a metaphor and it's spiritual for our souls?
Yeah.
That's where these two theories are always aligned. And all you got to figure out is... which one of these two things is, if you're more like science-based, technology-based, you're probably going to go the alien route. If you're more thinking that this is all ethereal and we all connect in some global plane in the afterlife, then you're probably going to think this is more demonic, and angel-driven. But I feel like whether we're talking about the simulation theory or we're talking about a God that created the universe, I feel like we're all just arguing the same thing with just different mechanisms for how we describe how it worked.
Yes.
The simulation theory to me is identical. No matter how deep somebody explains the simulation theory, no matter how much it evolves, it just sounds like they're explaining a digital God. You're explaining a programmer making ones and zeros instead of a God creating 4 base pairs to create everything that we know as reality.
Right.
To me, it's in fact, Your God, who creates a binary 1 and 0 computer-based simulation, is drastically more primitive than a God who can create 4 base pairs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the difference of what I'm saying?
Not really, no.
Okay, this
No, I
is
don't.
very important. Okay, so anybody else who isn't keeping up with me, here's what it works down to. Okay, I've been thinking about
I know
this a lot.
binary. I know what you're talking about there.
Okay, so this is important.
Mhm.
That's the key. That's the start. Okay. Computer video games, TV, AI, CGI for the greatest computer graphics you've ever seen in your life, still to this day, boil down to 2 base pairs called binary.
Yep. Okay.
By simply doubling that and going to 4 base pairs,
Mm-hmm.
we have now achieved the technology that is DNA. That is
Really?
all life on Earth and in the universe is based on 4 base pairs.
Really?
Yes. We symbolize
That's
them.
wild.
Please bring this up, Will. The 4 base pairs. They're letters. It's like A, T. Is it G and C? I don't remember the second two. It's
That is
AT
wild.
A, T, G, and C. Yeah. Okay. So here's the point, brother. You ready for this?
I'm ready, I guess, yeah.
Quantum computing
Yeah.
moves from 2 base pairs
Mm-hmm.
to 4 base pairs. So instead of a 1 and a 0,
Yeah.
the way we would think about this, if you're trying to track the analogy of binary, you move 0 and 1, you move those to the middle.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You call that 1 and 0.
Okay.
And then on the opposite sides of those, you call that negative and positive.
Okay.
Now you have 4 base pairs.
Okay.
The complexity of the algorithms you are able to compute when translated from computers to life, here's how it's explained.
Okay.
And this has been proven through quantum computing. And people that listen to Joe Rogan will have heard this quote before. And this is what Joe Rogan's been trying to explain. But Joe Rogan doesn't really understand this.
Okay.
If you were to convert every atom in the human universe
Okay.
into a computer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What quantum computing is able to do is do calculations in minutes that if you converted the entire universe
Okay.
into 1s and 0s, this is the key.
Yeah.
If you converted the entire universe back to binary,
Yeah.
the entire universe would die of heat death before it was able to complete the computation that quantum computing can do with 4 base pairs. And we're able to do that on Earth right now.
Okay.
I feel like I just broke your brain.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. That's
This is some super high level shit, dude.
so.
But that's proven to be true. So if the universe operated on a binary base pair, the entire universe converted to atoms, or I'm sorry, every atom in the universe converted to microchips would die of a heat death before it could compute an algorithm that quantum computing can do with 4 base pairs
Okay,
on
right.
Earth in minutes, which means whatever thing created this universe on 4 base pairs
Yep.
is so far beyond the idea of a binary simulation
Right.
that the only way to rationalize the simulation theory is to say that 4 base pairs
Yeah.
was created by something that can can transcend everything we understand as reality.
Well, right. That makes sense.
Which perfectly describes an almighty, transcendent, omnipotent, omniscient God that can transcend space and time, pause the simulation, rewrite it,
Sure.
resume it, and no one in real time would ever know that simulation was altered.
Correct.
It's the same fucking thing
Right.
that every religion describes God as.
It's correct.
There's no difference.
Yeah, correct. That's correct. If the simulation theory is what is happening, if that's what's happening, then that's totally fucking logical. I mean, then we're just a computer program.
Right. Which is like way less cool than a God, by the
Well,
way.
right, exactly. I mean, then we're just
Like, it'd be
fucking-
way cooler if there was a God.
right. If that's the answer to what the fuck is going on, then I mean that's kind of anticlimactic.
Right.
I think.
That's exactly where I arrived.
You know,
It's like, that's boring.
it's kind of boring. I mean, whatever. That's a
So I'm just an NPC
Yeah,
in GTA.
whatever. Like, and I can think that I'm actually fucking accomplishing something, but what am I?
So I'm just that asshole walking down the street
Right.
on his cell phone in GTA.
right.
That's all I am.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Playing some fucking role.
That
You know,
super sucks.
I agree. Some archetype.
That's way less cool than a God.
Well, I mean, you're just even trying to figure out if there is a God or whatever.
Because here's the thing: if there's a simulation, then also here's the ultimate question about God. If God exists, why do kids get cancer? Okay, if it's a simulation, why do kids get cancer?
Listen, if
That's dumb.
Right.
Who wrote that program?
this, I look at it like this. Okay. Yes, kids get cancer. Okay, I'm not disputing that, but what I will say is this. I've only experienced what I've seen with my own two eyes and what I've felt and whatever, okay? The amount of people that I've experienced in my life that are kids that have a cancer are very few.
Well, and not only that, but I also genuinely believe it's for me. I think it's a sins of our father type deal.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying is that I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but what I am saying is that
Somebody in your bloodline did some dirty shit.
it's just yes, the shit happens. I don't fucking know. I mean,
Or it's Satan. You know,
Yeah,
or it's Satan
it's-
trying to turn you against God. You know, that would be the easiest example, right?
Well, yeah,
like,
sure.
oh, let me kill your kid, because Jesus talks about this.
So,
The
yeah,
Bible
yeah,
talks
they
about
talk about
this.
it, for
the
sure.
Book of Job and all that shit. Right?
I don't ever think it's a good idea to tempt fate. You know, I don't think that's a wise idea. You know, I think having respect for that whole deal is probably a good idea. I mean, that being said, listen, I'm a life form that fucking is totally sovereign life form, man. I do believe this. Totally sovereign fucking life form. Don't fuck with me. I'm powerful too, man, in my own being, right? I'm not afraid. I think there's a scare tactic that gets involved. Oh, it's God this, God that. You know what I mean? Listen, these are all stories.
Have you heard
End
the
of the day.
theory that? Have you heard the theory that angels are children who died before they reached 7 years old?
Potentially.
Because like 7 or 8 years old is when you. What is this in Christianity? It's like 7 or 8 years old. You reach. It's like the age of reason or something they call that. So, like at 7 or 8 years old, you truly understand the
Sure.
difference between right and wrong.
Sure.
Yeah,
Seven is what, seven?
Yeah. And so, like, the theory is that angels are. That's why children get cancer, is because that's going to be an actual angel.
Interesting. Really?
You ever heard that?
I've never heard that. That's interesting, though. I mean,
There's also that stupid thing about like when something about when angels get their wings or some shit. I don't know, some fucking stupid.
I mean, to be clear, I do believe in that shit. I mean, very deeply spiritual about that stuff. It's just, I don't know. There's so many cross-pollinate, like we were saying earlier, there's so many cross-pollinations with all of that, and it's.
I obviously
know.
believe in God, but even if I didn't believe in God, I would still believe there's something to all of it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like
Like I absolutely do not believe that the whole universe was created by random chaos.
no.
Like
No.
there's too much organization and balance and harmony
Mm-hmm.
for this to not be created by somebody who's in a fourth dimension.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Whatever that is, an alien, God, I don't know, dude, but it's not random.
No, it's not random.
It can't be.
No, it's not random.
There's too many patterns and coincidences and themes throughout the universe.
it's
There's
not-
too many rules for it to be random and chaotic.
This is not random.
The most random shit we see in our world is underwater.
I mean,
You know what I mean, though?
oh,
Like
down
the
there?
craziest versions of life we see are underwater.
That's fucking. I mean, that is some wild shit that goes down there. It frightens me. It frightens me way more than what goes on in the sky.
I was gonna say,
the
do you,
space?
do you think there's aliens that still live on Earth in the ocean? That was
Oh
gonna
fuck
be
yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
last
Down there, dude. You don't. I don't even. Who knows what the fuck goes on down there?
things. How would we know?
We wouldn't know. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't know. There's portals down there. Who knows what the fuck? The Bermuda Triangle? That's a widely believed conspiracy theory that is where, like, when Atlantis went down, some of the shit went in there. There's an active portal still in there, down in there somewhere, that flashes open.
Measured by volume, we've explored more of space than we have
Yeah.
in our own oceans.
Yeah, man. There's shit down there for sure. Like, I mean, and then there's the whole theory of the fucking the pole shift, right? That happens every.
Dude, that shit is
Yeah, the Adam and Eve.
crazy.
I got that shit on my phone. The Adam and Eve story, the declassified doc. They get
Bro,
into that shit.
I saw that too. I saw that years ago.
Yeah, they get into that shit, right? And I tend to believe some of that, man.
Dude, that pole shifting Adam and Eve
Wisconsin
shit is
was
so.
the North Pole.
Not only was Wisconsin the North fucking pole at one point in time, that pole shifting data is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It actually lends a certain amount of credibility to the Mormons, and I'm talking like a tenth of 1%. It lends a tenth of 1% of credibility to the Mormons saying that the Garden of Eden is in Jacksonville, Florida.
Because of the shift of land and everything. Sure.
Yeah, if you move the North Pole to Wisconsin,
Sure.
and then you rotate the globe and spin it, and then you look at Israel,
Yeah.
and you look at Africa, and you go, "Oh, this lines up a bunch."
Right. That's
it's
wild.
crazy, dude.
That's that's wild. I
And
mean,
that's not how it works. I understand there's
No,
a
but-
difference
but
between true north and magnetic north.
I know,
get
the
this.
thing-
I understand this. But if you think about the way that the fucking the like oceans
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
wind currents go, you put
listen, it messes with everything.
I'm just saying, dude, like
It messes with everything. The whole land, the whole Earth would look different. Antarctica would be warm. It wouldn't be cold like that. There's volcanoes under there. There's shit under there. There's land under there.
the way the earth is physically spinning is less relevant to our global climate
Understand.
than it is the magnetic poles.
This Earth is not what we've been taught.
Will,
it was.
are you following me? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's
into the microphone,
this-
just so people can keep up with this. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying, right? I want to make sure because Greg and I are riffing. So what I'm saying is, the Earth is on an actual pole, like an actual pole. Coincidentally, right now, our magnetic pole is also lined up with our actual pole. So there's true north and there's magnetic north. What Greg and I are saying is the magnetic poles shift. And at one point in time, the magnetic North Pole was Wisconsin. And if you understand anything about weather and how everything is basically based on the magnetosphere, the world would be a drastically different place if the North Pole was in fucking
it
Wisconsin.
fucks everything up. I mean, it fuck everything up.
I mean, what I'm saying is the North Atlantic Current doesn't go the direction it goes.
Yeah,
Where the North Atlantic Current meets the South Atlantic Current doesn't exist,
if the poles were to shift again,
which they always shift.
it would be disastrous. Yeah, it's gonna shift again.
And,
It's just a
and the
question-
files you're referring to talked about like 6 different places they've identified.
It's like
like six.
global chaos, cataclysm.
Yeah.
like it's like the end of times.
It's
right?
like that. It's like that Dennis Quaid movie.
That's the end of times. And
It's
so
Dennis Quaid. What's that movie? The Dennis Quaid movie about the end of the world. It's like
day after tomorrow or whatever.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So and the theory is that this happens. This absolutely happens for whatever reason. It happens
The day after tomorrow.
on a
Yes.
on a cycle.
That movie is directly based on what we're talking about. And the U.S. government declassified a CIA document that says they can verify the magnetic pole has moved. I believe I counted 6. I might be making that up. It might be 4. It might be 8, but I believe it was 6.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot, and the thing is that they've
And
lied
they think
about.
they can verify where these polls
I
were.
think that this is a big part of the reason why they've changed our calendar and why they've lied about our calendar. They
Possibly,
They don't
sure.
want us to know the dates, man. They don't want us to know the dates about a lot of things, and I think that this is a big reason.
That would explain the discrepancy between Christians thinking the world is only 6,000 years old versus archaeological evidence saying humans have been around for 300,000 now.
There's the theory too that even in modern times with our modern calendar that somebody either shaved off or added 1,000 years. You ever heard that one?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, totally. So that's a prevalent one. It's like really
Bring that up. Bring
we
that up.
don't know.
I've heard this, but I don't know anything about this.
I don't know the
one up.
specifics either, but I've heard. We've all
Let's
heard
learn
it. So
about this in real time.
it's fucking wild. Like they've like scratched a number on the buildings and shit like that. I mean, these the shit. We don't know. Adding 1,000 years to the calendar. Here we go.
Adding 1,000 years to the calendar most directly refers to the phantom time hypothesis, a debunked theory. Well, let's see if it's debunked.
Well, yeah, they all say that.
Adding 300 phantom years. So apparently they faked 600 to 900 by the Holy Roman Empire to place themselves at the symbolic year 1000. However, the theory lacks evidence as corroborated by global historical record. Well,
How do you fake years?
yeah, so it sounds like this is and has been easily debunked because this is something you could just verify by other cultures surrounding them.
Right. Yeah, this seems like some bullshit.
But I will say this. The Chinese do not agree that the year is 2025.
What year do they think it is?
Look it up. Not only do they not celebrate the new year when we celebrate it, they do not base time on Jesus' birth.
Well, that's reasonable. I mean, that's reasonable if they don't believe in
Yeah, so what
him
year
as-
is it in China right now?
1,700.
4722.
Okay.
So their year zero is 2,500 years older than ours. 2,700 years older than ours.
4722.
Yep. Which is why you know Jesus was a real person, by the way. Whether he's the Son of God, we can
Right.
all debate that.
Right.
But you know he's a real person because everyone outside of China agrees it's 2025 because it's 2025 years since this motherfucker was born.
4722.
China's the only people who doesn't base
They just,
their
they don't give a fuck.
they say their year zero.
2,700 years later.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's the lunar calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
This is fun, man. I love having a podcast, dude.
No, it's good. It's
Because we could never do this backstage.
Well, no.
Backstage, it's just talking shit.
The Chinese, they do some interesting shit over there, and I don't know. I'm intrigued by it. They've been around forever, you know. They've been around for a long time. I don't know. I have a hard time questioning what they do.
They have a version of human history, like documented human history, that allegedly goes. Look this up, Will. But I believe it's 20 to 30,000 years, and some of their documents claim, I believe, 50,000 years.
Come on, that's
It's not able to be verified because it's China, right?
Sure.
But where these leaks have come from was before communist China took over, right? So
Okay.
this is shit that the British uncovered,
Sure.
right? Like this is shit from way back in the day.
They're pretty mysterious over there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They even there's conspiracies, and you'll never find this on YouTube now. I watched this on old VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Where they were like filming scrolls and translating the scrolls.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they discovered the pyramids 30,000 years ago.
That I wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Those motherfuckers, they've been around for a long time.
Do you know about that shit? About the pyramid shit?
Which one? What
So
pyramids?
they claim the pyramids are 4,000 to 6,000 years old.
Yeah, they got to be old. They
water
got to be older
erosion
than that.
and
Yeah,
shit?
they got to be older than that.
And then you time it with the Younger Dryas.
Yeah.
The youngest, if you just use logic,
Yeah.
the youngest they could be is like 10 to 12,000 years old.
Sure.
But if you go back one more cycle,
Yeah.
the pyramids are probably 30 to 40,000 years
Sure.
old. And that lines up with what the Chinese
Sure.
ancient documents, because the Chinese discovered the pyramids before they were. That's why it's credible. Let's see. So 8,000. Yeah, but I thought there was things in those documents that talked about
That's still pretty
discovering
old
shit.
though. Or from 6,600.
This is only the things that the Western world is willing to acknowledge.
Right.
Because they claim they have shit. They claim they have shit, and see if you can find this. They claim they have shit where they discovered the pyramids, unburied thousands of years before Europeans rediscovered the pyramids in the literal 18th or 19th century.
Can you imagine
I think it was the 19th.
discovering the pyramids?
Like I'm just saying, man. Like this shit's fucking. It's way more complex.
Yeah. No.
It's like trying to. It's like here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
When we talk about the pyramids, here's what it's like. It's like arguing about how the song "Run to the Hills" by Iron Maiden was written.
Sure.
Without a DVD or a VHS documentary to prove it.
Yep. I mean, I just with the
You know what I mean?
when it comes to the
Like-
pyramids, I'm confident in one thing is that some shit's going down there. That's
I
basic.
think the whole thing was a battery. Everybody thinks
Yeah.
it was a power plant now. I don't think it was a power plant. I think it was the
I think
opposite.
there's a lot of shit.
I think at the top of that fucking pyramid in the center of town, they had a giant fucking lightning rod.
Yeah.
And they fucking built a crazy built battery built out of stone.
Yeah.
So they could harness the fucking electricity in the sky.
The
and power
capstone.
their
The
city.
capstone was important there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a
deconductor.
partial spaceport too, like the original airport.
Maybe. Yeah, like some Stargate
It was like
shit,
a
yeah.
combo. You know.
That's my favorite one.
Yep.
Is that the Stargate thing where the ship landed on it? That's my favorite version,
Like
but I don't think that's
A
realistic.
combo. It wasn't a fucking. It was. What I'm saying is that when a port like underground, you know what I mean? Like the port, the dimensional port, and out into the planets, not necessarily above the ground, right? There's underneath the ground is where you can fucking is kind of what I'm envisioning, right? And the pyramids are put on the fucking earth, right? To where you can kind of shoot out from it.
Sure.
Is kind of what I'm seeing here, right? And the
You're kind of like flirting with the like ley line idea.
yeah, exactly, and that's why they're set up in certain spots, right? Because the Earth has energetic hotspots, and what they're doing is they're harvesting it off the Earth. The pyramids are right naturally in order to, along with our energy, in order to utilize it out there.
Yeah, where I'm thinking they're pulling it from the cosmos.
Yeah, and they're using ether, maybe too.
They're
right?
pulling it from
Yep.
the atmosphere,
Yep.
the magnetosphere. They're using
Yep. All of it
weather.
with the water canal, with the
Yeah.
Nile, right? They're using that, all of that, because that's going on at the time too, right? And so it's less, you know. And then we're looking for elements and shit,
The
right?
question is, how do we go from this to blaming the Jews for everything?
Well, I mean, that's yeah.
As a Jew, I'm super curious about this. Were we
Well-
secretly in control of all of this?
Well,
Like,
because it's the Hebrew Bible, and you guys run the banking system, a lot of it.
so here's what I really think.
That's why.
In my heart
I
of
think
hearts,
that's why.
In my heart of hearts, here's what I really think.
Yeah,
I think tens of thousands of years ago,
yeah.
I think Jews and blacks ran the planet, and I think we did some really heinous shit.
Yep.
And I think we enslaved the whites.
Yeah, that's absolutely what happened. I mean, here's the thing.
And I think
the Old
I
Testament,
think-
the
I
Old
think-
Testament's
I
full
think-
of war.
I think given tens of thousands of years, and I don't think this was a good idea, but I think what happened is the whites said, never again will we be oppressed by these people who can't live in the snow. And then that wasn't good enough when the Muslims invaded during medieval times. And that's what spawned the Crusades. So I do think there was a racial element,
Sure.
a religious element, but also I think there was a weird historical element.
Yeah.
Where I think white people were the original. Because if you study human evolution, blonde hair and blue eyes come from the Neanderthal DNA. So I don't know if you know this. but virtually 100% of humans, I don't care what color you are, I don't care where you're, basically all humans have an average of 2% Neanderthal DNA.
Okay.
And there's no other species to breed with. So this cannot be diluted ever more going forward. So people like Joe Rogan joke about he's got like 6% Neanderthal DNA.
Sure.
Kind of makes sense. He's
Sure.
short, he's stocky, he's built like a brick shithouse, right?
Right.
People like me, tall, lanky, still got a little bit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Fair skin, blonde hair, blue eyes.
That's where we come
I don't
from.
have blonde hair or blue eyes, but you get my point.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea being that the white people are closer to the original primitives.
Yes.
If the true original Homo sapien came from Africa, they would look closer to a black person. If the true Homo sapien was smarter, more clever, better at communicating, it is super obvious to me that they would have been the first rulers of the world. And if they are humans just like us, right? Just like your modern day American, just like your modern day Russian, just like your modern day fucking Chinese, right? When given enough power, you do fucked up shit.
Sure.
Like enslave people.
Right.
Like rape and pillage.
Right.
And if you do that for 30,000 years, you could ingrain a racial bias
Yep.
into your DNA.
Yes.
Just like the way certain people have a fear of spiders or snakes.
Right.
And that is probably the birth of racism.
No, totally. It becomes something that is so.
They don't look
You're
like
right.
us.
Well,
They're
that's
not from
right.
here.
That's programming, right?
You're right. That
That's
is
programming.
back to what you said
It's
earlier.
programming.
You're right.
It's totally programming. So you
Willingly or unwillingly.
it doesn't matter what it is. We could call it whatever we want, right? We're still
When
programmed.
I see a bear,
yeah.
a real bear,
Yep.
not a Chicago bear, because they're gay.
Right.
But
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
They're on fire. They are on fire.
They're on fire right now. They're flaming.
Right, they are. They are right now. They're
flaming
hot. They're hot.
They're hot. When I see a bear, my adrenaline and fear instincts kick in. That's programming. That's
programming.
genetics.
Yeah.
I am DNA programmed to fear that thing.
Yep.
What if that's how racism was born?
A lot of it is, and that they do it intentionally. I think to keep the divide amongst people. A lot of the time, it doesn't exist in the way that it goes into it. A lot of those things don't exist in the levels that we're told that they do.
If what I'm saying is true,
they do exist, but it's all there. Everything's a half truth. Everything is.
If what I'm saying is true, it would add credibility into the idea that people born in 1990 still have a fear of white people.
Yeah. So,
simply because their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents were victims of X, Y, and Z. It would grant a lot of credibility
a lot of it.
to that theory.
So since this is my theory, pretty much since the advent of fucking TV or pictures, right? Media, everything's been half-truths. Like, the disinformation is everywhere. Anytime you see anything on a screen, period, right? I mean, radio they fucked with people with War of the Worlds. That was intentional, okay? People lost their shit. Then screens came in. It was like, oh, whatever, the Nazis are doing this. It was like, ooh, what can they do?
Explain to people what you mean, though, where they fucked with people with War of the Worlds. And Will, pull this up while he's talking.
War of the Worlds, the original War of the Worlds, I don't know when it was, 1920, 1930.
Because this is relevant to the Nazi thing, so keep going.
So H.G. Wells, wrote Orson Welles wrote War of the Worlds. So 1938, yeah. They broadcast this shit, and it's about aliens takeover, right? And it's so convincing on the radio that people lose their mind. Causing a national panic. And news bulletin style Martian invasion was real. Okay, on Halloween Eve, and highlighted the power of radio, sparking discussions about media, truth, and mass hysteria. Okay?
So basically, for the young people, they told a story on the news. It was a teleplay. So they were basically like doing a play on the radio.
Right.
But the play was staged as a real news broadcast.
Right.
People were so stupid and so naive, even back then,
Yes.
because we all know people were smarter back then. They were doing better math in 8th grade than we do in fucking college now. People were so fucking stupid that they actually thought the broadcast was a real news broadcast.
Right. So it doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter if
And
it's
they lost their minds.
but if it's a drone, oh, the AI is going to do it. Listen, people have been doing this shit with the radio, right? They don't know. People don't know what's real and not or not. That's the point here. Is you're saying people are idiots, right? I mean, just because
Some people.
a lot of people are. Just because somebody tells you something, don't make it so, right? Like that's the point here. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's motherfucking true.
The same people
Like-
that were duped by that story, by the way, the same people who were duped by that story are the same people that were duped by the idea that what Donald Trump did with Stormy Daniels
Yeah.
was somehow more illegal or worse than the same exact thing Bill Clinton did 20 years earlier with his hooker.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me how
They're stupid people.
yeah, how like that really had to tell certain people like
And it was a lot of
wow,
housewives, by the way.
Wow, we can get people to believe a lot.
By the way,
Like
the overwhelming amount of people that were duped by this were
Just-
elderly people and single mothers. No, I'm sorry, not single mothers. I misspoke. It was elderly people and homemakers.
I can't imagine
Like women who stayed at home all day and fucking did pills because they hated their lives.
I can't imagine coming home and being the fucking Martians are coming. What the streets of the fucking suburb, the fucking people in the road, right? They're coming, you hear the radio. There's fucking people in the road, right? There's fucking wives all fucked up and fucking there's, like cops or whatever. Like that's going on. That's going on. People are thinking that there's an invasion. And it takes multiple hours before they're like, hey, everybody, it's now, it was just entertainment. Just entertainment. Okay? We are sorry to alarm
You
you.
sound like South Park.
Sorry
right
to
now.
alarm you. Sorry to alarm you. Okay?
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. Go back in your house.
There's nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. There's ticket to the cinema Saturday night. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, whoa! And then fucking
That
whoever.
voice you just did, that accent you did, makes me want to start a skit with you. And I just want you to play that guy.
Yeah, that guy? Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Move on. Go
Hold
on.
on, may I apologize for the chaos and the delay.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank
Dude,
you.
you do such a good fucking. That is a great 1920s impression.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Siren comes in, like I could see it all in black and white, and I just like, whoa, dude, those people bought into that. This chaos in the road. So, I mean, I do believe that happened. When hearing about that, because people are that stupid. People are definitely that stupid. I do believe people are that dumb. So, I don't know.
I think we're all that dumb.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the fucking smartest person ever, and I have believed some dumb shit, okay, in the past. I have believed some dumb shit in the past, but I mean, dude, an invasion, okay, if an alien's invasion, why do I still got Wi-Fi? Okay? They're cutting that shit first. They're cutting the, you know what I'm saying?
Unless it's subversive, right?
I guess, yeah. Well, come and
You
take.
come here, you establish Wi-Fi, and then you use it to control people.
That could happen at any time, though, right?
That could have happened 50 years ago.
Right. Exactly. So, I guess come and invade us then, right?
That's the crazy thing is like the theory is they've always been here and they never left.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got my theories about that one. I mean, for sure. It's so there's. I think it's I think it's a seeding thing. I think that there's different fucking ETs, and I think that they fuck with us and they put their fucking DNA in ours and mix it up, and for evolution's sake, to have it here. You know what I mean? For fucking just the, it's like a big farm. It's a big zoo here, one big fucking zoo.
big zoo.
That would be the craziest.
One
thing.
big zoo, and that's what our physical corporeal bodies are, but then inside of that there's a soul, right? That we are, but there's this DNA fucking mix that's like honestly has been mixed up together on this fucking big farm. That's honestly what I think. It's just this. The Earth is not, and we are a weird species.
If they did it though, it's still based on those same four base pairs.
Yeah, totally. No, it's
Dude,
still,
that's what
yep.
you need to look into. What you need
That's
to
really
look into,
interesting.
and what you need to look into is not the genetics.
Yeah.
What you need to do is look into the mathematical equations of binary versus four base pairs.
That's really interesting.
Look at how so a great example of this is going from 8-bit to 60. So for all the analytical people who aren't biologists and they're like, Jared, you're getting a little ahead of me. Okay, think about this. When we went from 8-bit code and you only had so many options, and then we jumped to 16-bit code. So we doubled, all we did was doubled the length of the binary. The amount of algorithmical options that become available from jumping from 8-bit to 16-bit becomes virtually infinite. Now imagine doing that, jumping from 2 base pairs to 4 base pairs, and it becomes literally infinite. Like the human ability, there is no ability to find the end of those equations. That's God. That's the shit that God talks about in the Bible, which is you will count the stars till the end of your days and never find all of them.
Right. That's wild.
We have new telescopes that zoom in on the brightest stars, and we go, there's 37 stars that we thought were one. That's a whole ass system. That's not a star. That's a galaxy. Like every time we zoom in, we realize we're just farther out. That's infinity. That's God, dude. That's something that is in a fourth dimension beyond anything we can comprehend. And those are things that no matter how far technology progresses, those things in the Bible and according to God's word remain infinitely true. You'll never find the end. And I personally think that all of science that we do discover is simply explaining the fingerprint and how it was all done. I don't think we'll ever get to the end of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever be able to show there's a simulation or it's chaos.
Right.
Including the idea that with this new telescope, they think the Big Bang is wrong.
Sure.
They now think we're living inside of a black hole, which means everything we know as the entirety of the universe is nothing more than a tiny dead spot in someone else's universe.
Sure.
Which means we're nothing more than a speck, a single grain, or a single pixel in somebody else's universe. So
Sure.
how big does this thing go?
That's a good question. We could be being exploited in that black hole for our energy.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot that goes into it. I got to go home. It's 9:05.
Well, let's wrap this up, dude. This was a blast.
Yeah,
dude.
it was a good one,
This
man.
might be
It
my
was-
favorite podcast
Yeah.
we've done. Every time we do a podcast, I enjoy it more
Yeah,
and
we
more.
get into good ones, man. I appreciate you having me over. It was good. I needed to get out of the house and fucking chop it up. We got into some good stuff.
Well, let's wrap this up, dude. People can follow you at G Howard Moog now.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
G Howard Moog on the Facebook account, and White Crosses. We're kind of slow right now. We're gonna record some music, and I don't know. I'm gonna be doing some different stuff this coming year in 2026. It's a holiday break, but I'm gonna focus on. I got some real chill music that I've been working on with Wally.
Oversoul, right?
Oversoul, yeah. It's my solo project that I work in tandem with Wally from Bullets and Butterflies, Skywind, Wally Joseph, a longtime super good friend and homie. That's my producer, and so he produces some of the raw acoustic folk stuff that I write, and I got a bunch of that material now that I want to see what happens with it.
I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, I want to see what happens with it.
I'm
I
excited.
focus the energy on it, man. It's a different vibe, and it's just something that I feel I need to do. I need to do something a little different for a little bit. But I'm not going to stop doing the metal stuff, but I want to downshift a little bit and just.
I think it's going to be your best work. No offense to Black Flood, no offense to White Crosses. I think the Oversoul stuff is going to be your best work. I think that's going to be the thing you're going to look back at the end of your life and be like, that's truly mine. That's the thing I'm most proud of. I really believe this.
I like hearing you say that. It's, you know what? It's really organic. It's got an organic thing. The first kind of cool chapter in that is going to be, and I'm waiting on a date. I've actually been talking with Josh over at Club Underground. You know, it's touch and go over there, but sometime in February, beginning of March, I've got the first storytellers kind of event that I'm putting in there. And so myself, it's on a Friday night, like a date night, myself opening, and Tinsley will be playing with me. And the format's like VH1 Storytellers, right? All acoustic night, like kind of candlelit thing, me opening, and then D. Wyatt from Leaving Hope breaking down his music. Wayne Pelican and Billy Joe Hall playing third for the female presence, and then Dennis Asher playing last, breaking it down. And just real intimate, right? And on date night, Friday night. So,
I love that.
Yeah, Minnesota Storytellers is what I want to. But so what I want to do is I want to, see if people come up.
Oh, dude, you stole this idea. Not from VH1. You stole this idea because you and I went to the Pillar.
Yeah. Well, they had that hybrid show, and Dennis opened.
And Dennis opened, and he was telling stories in between songs.
Yeah.
And you took that, and you said, I'm going to do a whole show with that.
Yeah, totally. It was.
Yeah, dude, I was there with you side by side. I know exactly what night gave you the inspiration for this, dude.
Here's the thing.
Genius.
And then
this is what more people need to do.
I write my own music all on acoustic, too, right? And I'm like, listen, that's how I write all of that stuff, right? And then I give it to Wally, and then it gets fleshed out in a whole band thing. But then I was like, dude, those are some of my favorite was MTV Unplugged and Storytellers, right? Like, those are some of my favorite fucking shows, right? Then I'm like, okay, well, I'll open, okay, and then I've got these other really good musicians too, but my songs stack up, I feel, whatever. Then I'm like, oh, okay, add another lead player to it, okay? But maximum 2 people. And now we can have a whole thingy, right? We've totally got a thing. And it's super easy, super chill, there's no noise thing, and if... I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what happens. So I'm putting that together. I've got the whole bill put together. Everybody's so super stoked with it. I'm just waiting for Josh. He had a death in the family. And I want it sometime around Valentine's Day, somewhere like around there on a Friday night for sure. And then pivot away from the metal thing instead of beating my head against the fucking wall, That's how I want to look at the next year. I'm no more beating my head against the wall. It's different, Approach that a little different angle, And then see
Swim with the current.
Yeah, totally, man. Just fucking not be whatever. If I can do different shit, then do the different shit. Not fucking beat my head against the wall. So that's the first one. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm looking.
I love it. I'm stoked, dude.
Cool, yeah. And so that we'll see how it goes. But I can't imagine it going any worse than a fucking metal show that I throw it on there. I think people will be interested in that.
Club Underground will give you what you put into it.
I mean, the thing that just it bothers me about, and this is not a shot anywhere or just whatever, it is what it is that it's difficult to peg down, and right now there's a death going on in the family, so I'm not saying this in any type of disparaging way at all, but when you get the calendar in order, right, you know what I'm saying here, the reliability and getting a structure down is an integral to keeping a buzz going for whatever event you're throwing, and just the reliability piece of it, right? It just is. And so keeping, especially at this advanced age when we're not young anymore, so you got to keep people in line type of thing. And that's just what it is. And historically speaking, in that room, it's been difficult to peg down. That's all that I'm saying, right? And
and logically, here's why. Because this is true... I gotta say, 20 years now. When the smoking ban came in, that room is in a basement.
Yeah.
And in between bands, people want to go smoke.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, because it's in a basement, there's no natural organic cue for the next band to start it.
Right.
So no one comes back.
Right.
So the challenge in that room is to keep people in the room in between bands. How I cheated that, and you're never going to get away with this again, because I knew Pete, who used to be the manager.
Yeah.
I bought a keg of beer
Oh, yeah.
and then brought the physical keg of beer there.
yeah. It's a great idea.
And then gave free beer away in between sets. So I was able to put on the
That's a
flyer
great
free
idea.
beer, right? And then, but that beer was only sold or given away in between the bands. And then we did little 8-ounce cups so it lasted, right? So that free beer always ran out right before the headlining band went on. It was so fucking reliable, dude, because that's a small club. In a bigger club, you do 2 kegs.
Yeah.
In a even bigger club, you do 10 kegs.
That's a great idea.
But it's hard to pull
And
off.
no, it's because they don't want any part of that. That's, yeah. So, I mean, we'll make something happen, you know.
When I did it, though, the clubs always actually made more money than they ever did on anybody else's show, which is why I kept getting away with it. But it's so hard to get in and let somebody do that.
It's right.
They're going to want you to buy a keg of their beer at the bar, which
Sure,
is
and
double
that's-
the price you can buy it from
right.
at the liquor store. Like, it
Right.
was insane. What I pulled off
Yeah.
was borderline illegal.
Well, yeah, you're basically bringing in your own booze.
Yeah.
And fucking selling your own booze without a fucking booze license. And
but
you,
we were giving it away. So
yeah, you're
that's
giving
how
it away.
yeah.
And- but as a
there's
promotion,
bunch
as a
of
promotional material, which I guess you could.
yeah, free beer. Yeah.
Free beer.
It
on the-
wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie. It was real.
No, it's totally real.
And then we told everyone we were shooting a music video, right? Or
Sure,
or we were releasing a CD or whatever. You know, you make an event, dude. This
No,
is
you
the same
totally
thing
make-
we've always been
Listen,
talking about. I'm not saying anything
Hey,
new.
listen, no, you're not.
All I'm doing is finding new creative ways to do the same shit
I
we've
wish
always
that
done.
if I could fucking take a fucking couple party balls and throw it in the fucking basement of Club Underground, I'd do it fucking next weekend.
Which you literally can. You just have to figure out how to do it legally.
Yeah, I mean, people would love to do that, I think.
Yeah. And there's a way to do it. Like, for example, you buy all the booze and you let the
Yeah.
bar make it. And then the bar does the thing in between, or for $1, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a
Yeah.
way to do this above board and legally, but you gotta get you gotta give a fuck.
Right.
Right? Like, too many people are just like, oh, my music's dope, man. People should just show up to appreciate it. Fuck you.
Nobody goes. Nobody
Fuck you, dude.
Nobody wants to go anywhere. anymore.
Everybody makes dope music. Fuck you in your shitty local band. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. If you guys want to follow me, I'm Jared Singer live everywhere. G Howard Moog on Facebook. You got an Instagram or nah?
I
White
think
crosses.
it's g.moog.
White
And
crosses
thank you,
and
everybody.
soon-
You guys be safe in the holidays. Love you.
And soon keep out for Oversoul, right?
Yeah, Oversoul on Facebook. Yeah, that'll be rocking and rolling. So I just appreciate anybody even giving a fuck. So it's great.
We love you guys. Let's get out of here. Play the new outro. Make sure Greg gets to hear this in the studio.
Jared Singer Extravaganza. Jared Singer Extravaganza. Jared Singer Extravaganza. Sit back and put your hands up for Jared Singer Extravaganza. Jared Singer Extravaganza. Jared Singer Extravaganza. Sorry, but it's time to go. Tell somebody that you know. We hope you enjoyed the show.